Are you? So are you all like posing like behind a wall?
Yeah, that's it.
It's our like House of Bells graduating year photo.
Oh my god.
Hey, the lost hand. Oh, we're not. I know. Just to be clear.
Not graduating this year.
Nope.
Oh, that attitude. Thanks, Aragorn.
Not graduating.
I was laughing at myself as well because I was fully looking into the wrong
I know.
camera. I was just like,
this is gonna really mess up. I'll be doing all my acting this way. Hi, everyone.
it is really strange.
How are you
Yeah.
doing?
What's up?
Today's episode is brought to you in part by unexplained random technical difficulties of a device that worked perfectly last time.
Scratchy how?
Oh,
You're peeking a little.
yeah.
That we can change.
Yeah.
That's doable.
Oh, wait, maybe it's that magical thing. Hold on. Zoom forgets it every time. Aha! 1 second.
We
Is
hope
that better?
This is a bit better for y'all's. You angered the spirits of the machine.
Yes, I imagine that is.
Check.
Yep.
I like how instantly, does it sound better? Then it also comes down to like, meh.
Do I sound better now that I'm talking in a voice? Oh. Yeah.
I've been watching this stupidly amazing show on Netflix called Marriage or Mortgage.
Terrible.
Literally, whatever you guess it's about is probably correct. A couple declares what their budget is, and then a wedding planner and a realtor each show them what that money could buy them, and then at the end they declare whether they would rather have a wedding or a mortgage or
Oh
like
my
a house.
God. I mean, okay, my
Everybody
budget
needs-
is
you need to watch this.
like $50.
Thank you for that prime sub, Angel Wick.
Thank you, Angel.
Woo, thank you for the sub. Nice. That sounds like a great show.
People are going to start going on the show with only one of the things in mind, and
Oh,
they're
yeah.
just going to fake that they're interested in the other
Yeah,
one. They're
oh,
like,
yeah.
oh yeah, what kind of houses are in our budget? You know.
What's
Yeah.
truly shocking to me though is that people are actually choosing the wedding. Like, call me old-fashioned.
No, not old-fashioned. Opposite. No, some middle-fashioned.
I think that though I think that there's a certain subset of people, of which I am one, that if you offered me a home or one night party, there isn't really much of a debate there.
Yeah.
But I think that for some people, the idea of a marriage has been built up, or a wedding specifically, has been built up so much that they feel like if they don't do it, they couldn't be happy.
Mm-hmm.
Yep, it's true.
But I'm not one
I
of
just
those
feel
people.
bad because this was clearly shot right before COVID hit.
Yeah.
And so
Ugh.
there's a lot of like 3 months later they got married. Unfortunately, also 3 months later. And so
Yeah.
like a lot of it is people who
It's
like
so bad,
planned
I'm
on a
sorry.
wedding, but the wedding was canceled or like was not what they wanted.
No
or,
take
like,
backs.
the
Yeah.
footage is like everybody wearing masks. So it's a very strange, like,
Yeah.
it feels like you're jumping through time.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Time
Would-
jumpers.
I trouble you to aim your camera a bit further down. You look shorter than me, which makes no sense.
You love that though? Yep, coming in hot, guys.
I'm the tallest one. There we go. Thank
Got
you.
Yeah, we just
Awesome.
wanted to, see your heads.
Yeah, just your foreheads.
We can do that. We can go extreme forehead close-up. if you
Yes,
want.
5 head.
All of our.
Thank you for the subscription, Kung Fu Fenris.
Oh my god,
Yay,
Helia's gonna
thank
have
you.
a gothic pirate themed wedding. Can I come to your
Ooh,
wedding?
Ophelia, can we all?
Yeah.
Well, I can't promise we'll perform, but we'll be there. Can we be there?
Requiem Lost, it may have to do with the fact that we're streaming on a Sunday evening, which perhaps in your particular area, maybe that's a time that somebody else is also using your bandwidth. Perhaps Twitch is more
Busy?
busy on a Sunday evening than on a Thursday evening.
Because we actually, I believe, as of last stream, changed our bitrate so that we aren't sending quite as much data for your poor computers to have to try to pull off of the internet. But,
So
yeah.
many ones and zeros that can handle.
Yeah. But
technically it's actually been 2 weeks because the 2 weeks ago we were on Wi-Fi and had
that's
to
true.
because otherwise
That's
we were
true.
dropping out.
Yeah.
My potato thanks you.
Yay, potato.
It was one of those things that I had. So my dad is very, very tech literate. He's the kind of person who got us hooked up to the internet, through his work in like early 1990s kind of thing, right? Because like that's the kind of guy he is. But I could not convince him that Wi-Fi was not as reliable as wired for a while, because he was just like, no, it's fine. Like it's supposed to go up to 56, megabits per second. Why would there be an issue? And I'm like, because there is.
Yeah. Up to.
And there now he knows. He figured it out for himself. But yeah. Wi-Fi is good enough for my phone, but not much else.
I always imagine it akin to like putting a straw in a drink, that's Ethernet, as opposed to tossing a drink at your face and you're going to get a lot of the drink, but not all of it. Do you know what I mean? It's going to splash all over you. That's what I imagine.
Yeah. On the subject of all of this tech, I did want to thank all of you for sticking with us through this past year of forced distance streams. Some days they are nearly as good as they were when we all got to be together, and some days the gremlins hit, and we do our best, and it's really appreciated that you've all stuck with us.
Hey, Kate, point to your left. You see that line right there? When that line disappears and we have all of our players on one side in one camera and me on one camera, that's when you know that things are better off for us. But this line has been there for the past year because, as it's pretty obvious, Kate and I are sequestered together. Elizabeth and Scott are sequestered together. So even when they were coming over, when they were allowed during the pandemic, we were still establishing distance between ourselves so that Kate wasn't sitting next to them. And hopefully we'll be able to get that sorted out soon. Unfortunately, we do live in Canada, and Canada does not have as readily a vaccine access as our friends in the United States. So it may take us longer than it does in the States for us to get vaccinated to the point where we're allowed to be together legally, let alone morally.
I understand what you were saying, but for some reason I was imagining, because our normal meetings are so immoral.
Cheeks. Hi, Cheeks.
We don't have any vaccine manufacturers in Canada anymore.
Yeah, we have to wait for them to be willing to sell them to other countries. So we're getting there. All of our people over 65 are now making appointments, which are like the super high risk people. So like we're getting there. But we're all cursed with health. So it'll just be a little while for us. Yeah.
You know what we do have? We have mods from around the world. We have She Who Knows 10,000 Things. We have Entropy's Disciple, and we have Strength of Borders. Now, only one of them's here, which means that we are represented by the good old US of A, Aragorn. Thanks so much for being here.
No, hang on, that's not right.
Oh,
Supervise.
shit. That reminds me. Talk amongst yourselves.
Classic.
Oh, we're talking amongst ourselves.
Yes.
Balls. The Angel of Nexus.
The Angel of Nexus.
Woo.
Yay, everyone.
Yay.
I mean, I'm looking forward to getting my shot. My parents have both had one dose of the vaccine, so I'm very pleased about that. But the thing is, it's not just about you and your health when you get the shot, it's also about everyone else's.
Yes.
That's right.
We live in a society.
Did you just joker us?
Oh, is that where that's from?
Kate has the giggles today, and it's great.
So, Trey Dog, as I understand it, with you being 3 days in, that means that you have 11 days, and then you are considered clear.
Oh, neat. One dose. I am drinking an oolong blend that my half-sister sent me. So, mystery oolong. Ooh.
Well, Trey Dog,
Done.
you give us a call when you're at day 14.
because... Oh my god.
Yeah, I got a pretty bad flu vaccine round this time. Like, for myself, just like, usually I'm like, that's fine, my arm hurts. And this time I was like, I feel kind of like crap for a day, and then it was fine. So, yeah. I'm sorry that you had a crappy day 2.
It means that it's working.
But yeah, that's exactly
If your
it.
body is reacting to the vaccine, it means that it's doing something.
Yeah. Ha.
Like that episode of the Magic School Bus.
Which episode?
Inside Ralphie.
Yeah.
Inside Ralphie twice? Am I
No,
mistaken?
they went inside Ralphie once. They went inside Arnold once.
Classic, sure.
No, they went inside Arnold twice. Forgive me.
He went inside Arnold twice.
Getting my Magic
Well,
School
are
Bus
those
card
days that
revoked.
he could have stayed home because he could have been at home while they were inside of him?
Well, the best thing is, one time he's like, you know what, Miss Frizzle, can I stay behind? And she's like, sure. And then she takes them all out to the bus, and they go inside him.
That, I do not think he would have agreed to that.
Some serious fuckery right there. Oh my. Yeah.
Hey, as long as we're here, may I ask if any of you decided to spend any experience this time around? Trois, deux, un.
Allez!
Oh, hello, team.
Alors, qu'est-ce que vous avez acheté?
J'ai acheté un charm, Weary Yellow Dog Attitude, and it is a socialized charm that if we start fighting after a social encounter, I can use socialize as one of my stats to join, and if I successfully read intentions or influence someone, I can get bonus dice from 10s on my roll.
So in other words, if you're like, oh, I can tell that you actually do like muffins, so I can kick your ass. Only because I found out that you liked muffins today.
Yes, just now.
You take one off the platter and just, throw
You
it
know,
out.
or I influence them. I'm like, don't these muffins look so good?
Top of the muffin to you.
Oh my god.
I really like top of the muffin to you because muffin top is also a thing. So there's like a nice like interplay there. It's nice. I bought Dexterity 4.
Did you say dexterity?
What can I say? I've got Dexterity on the mind. I got Dexterity on the mind. Kate. Ugh. That's Dexterity 4. That's what I bought. Thank you.
Trey Dog understood.
I bought Bureaucracy 2
Oh.
for 1 whole XP.
Clever.
Because it's times 2 minus 1,
times
right?
2 minus 1. Yeah.
Because it's a favor.
Nice.
Pretty good.
Cheap.
I should be getting my second dots and
That's
things,
how you step
yo.
up to a librarian. You're like, oh, I'm better at filing now.
Oh, right. Yeah, Bracken would be into that. Or did you mean you, John? You're not a librarian, I know. But like,
I worked as a library clerk for a decade.
yeah?
I know how to appreciate a good file.
Almost as long as Heaven's been LARPing. Is that what we're... No? Okay. Hashtag Briars.
Kate, go for it.
17.
Nice.
I'm feeling a little dewy. Decimal.
System.
How do I feel about rasps? What kind of rasp are you referring to?
Yeah, if we're referring to berries, he has a very specific opinion on the subject.
Thank you, Trey.
Hey,
Thank
Trey
you.
Dog.
Ripley says thank you as well. She does not. Never mind. I'm sorry. I do, though.
Floof. She says, I'm a floof.
Well, I guess we can, get started, except we do have to know what happened last time. And as a result, we do have a paper. The intel report as written by students who choose to remain nameless.
Student Uprising. Following the third disbandment of a FANG this year, a number of students have organized a special interest group for the affected students and their sympathizers. Though this group has begun marching together as a unit, no representative has yet come forward to announce demands or an agenda. Eyewitnesses report that they seem to be taking direction primarily from 5th year Regar Brevin, the FANG leader of the first FANG to be disbanded. Investigation into the opinions of school faculty regarding this ruling mob have turned up little. Though it may appear that they simply do not fear the student organization getting out of control, this is more likely an indication that this plays into a greater conspiracy. Should this group continue to grow in strength among the students of the House of Bells, they might marshal a force of exalted soldiers enough to counter one or more legions. The only question would be this: who would they fight for?
After the first 2 games, I thought Viren was just some joker, but this morning, he really started getting intense. Started getting really intense. You know that 5th-year Pelops with the accent? I heard she's killed a Dragon-Blood before. Oh, yikes.
I've been thinking of swearing the oath with my fang, you know, before we get disbanded. My parents said don't form a kinship in school. You never know what might happen.
My parents.
Hey, I found a bottle up in the bell tower that looks like someone has been spinning it. Who holds a makeout party in a bell tower?
It looks like someone's been spinning it. Was it on its side?
It's got like specific
Little scratch
scratches
marks.
just in the center.
Holy shit. That person has investigation 4, and I want to be their friend.
Amazing.
Like, spin the bottle here.
Those bastards.
Detective student. Detective student.
Student. Man, I miss Detective Student.
We have safety cards. They're very simple. We have these in order to make sure that we can keep ourselves safe and to make sure that we can actually push ourselves as we roleplay, knowing that we will not, we have a net underneath us to keep us safe if that comes into play. The green card indicates that everything's cool. Everything's all right. I am enthusiastically consenting what's going on, even if I don't look like it. So please go for it. The yellow card means, hold up, I need everybody at the table to pay attention to me. I have something I need to say. This could be a warning. It could be a mention that things are getting a little dicey, but no matter what, it's pay attention to me until the card goes down. The red card means stop. I'm no longer okay. We need to stop the game immediately. If this happens during a stream, we may move to a be right back screen. And we'll discuss what we need to do in order to make sure that everybody is safe and comfortable moving forward. The game does not resume until the player who held the red card says that they are all right to continue. At no time does somebody have to justify why they decided to raise a card, and at no point is a card meant to show that somebody has done something wrong. Cards are meant to reflect how we feel in the moment. That's it. Now, I assume that you may be sitting there at your desks with cards, but we can't see them. So instead, there are other things that you can do instead. If you just choose, you can message a mod. Aragorn is the mod currently on duty, or you can message RPGClinic, at which point I will be able to see it. If you message a mod, you can choose to keep it anonymous if you so wish. However, you always have the option, while we do not want you to leave, you can. You can leave the stream or chat or both in order to keep yourself safe. That is the number one priority. That's what you need to do to keep yourself happy and healthy. Please do so.
Thanks, Angelic.
Mm-hmm.
Anything else?
No. Feeling good?
All right.
Let's get to it.
School is one of the places where we form friendships. Sometimes these friendships are the ones that last a lifetime. Oftentimes we think they'll last a lifetime, even if they're not going to. And the earlier you make these choices, the more likely they are not to come true. There are people who are lucky enough to have met friends for life when they were in kindergarten. And there are those who met them in high school, and those who met them at college or university. But the important thing to remember is that friendship is one of those things that is not a contract set in stone. It is a malleable thing. Some friendships last decades. Some friendships feel like they will, and then don't. Somebody could be your absolute best friend one day, and then the next, they've ghosted you, or worse, turned on you. This is all part of the plan while you're learning, because when you're learning, you're making yourself open, not only to new ideas, but to new relationships with people. So friendships tend to be formed, especially because you are often studying with others who share your interests, and they see how passionate you can be. You've made choices, friendship choices in this game. And now it's time to see if they'll pay off, if they'll last a lifetime, if they'll last a day, or both. Do you want to remind us where we are?
Sleeping?
Well, you were?
I went to bed.
Sorry. Yikes. Yes, we were asleep.
We're all abed.
In our barracks.
I'm going to assume that you actually sleep, and sleep properly, so you can regain your motes of essence, 1 willpower. Do you want me to take care of that for you?
Sure.
Thanks,
I wanna
John.
watch
I will
it
take
update.
care of it. While that is happening, you can awaken knowing that you have a day of classes ahead of you. Class.
What's that?
What the?
There are no little notes snuck under your door, no scrolls, no parchments, just the 5 of you.
Is today the day we go to speak to the commandant?
Well, I'll have to wait until after class at the very least.
Yes.
I mean, I'm sure you could afford to skip one, but
Yes. But I will not.
Mhm.
You shouldn't get into the habit of that sort of thing.
Why not?
Well, you skip one class, it makes it easier to skip a second class, then a third, et cetera, et cetera.
I'm kidding, Gail. I'm kidding. I wouldn't.
Why would you? What was the point of kidding about
Well,
that?
just because I think I know that you would have a reason for not wanting, because you enjoy going to most of the classes. You really love learning. I can tell that about you. And, yeah, I just thought it would be kind of fun. Trust me, I'm not the kind of person who cuts class. I really can't afford to.
Yes, I know that.
You realize that there is a difference. If you cut class normally, that you could get in trouble. If you cut class when you're in the military, you're absent without leave. You're a deserter.
Yeah.
We all have a certain reputation to live up to here. And of course, deserter is not on that list, so that's true.
To class.
Breakfast. Calisthenics. To the yard! No.
Do you just whip off all your clothes
No,
again?
Fires is clothed. He's got to be clothed for the calisthenics.
He just focuses for a second and then just flexes his shoulders, and just the top half of his shirt just bursts open.
I like to think his shoulder blades kind of poke through first, like this horrible monster thing, and then it just kind of falls away from him.
Oh.
Ooh. No, I'm. It's a little early for everybody. I know what kind of effect I could have.
So, off to calisthenics then.
Come on, Gail.
Let's see what where this new fang lump ends up. 12 people can't form a line of 5.
Oh, interesting. Yes, we should see what their hierarchy is. Make note of it. We should see if Brevin has a second in command.
That's a good point. I mean, he doesn't strike me like the kind who would want one, but
He would want more than one, you think?
no, he wouldn't want any.
He would want absolute power.
Yeah. I mean, that's just
Which
an
means if he
assumption I'm
were
making.
removed from the equation, presumably then that large, not really a fang, would crumble into dust.
Well, I mean, when a group of people have to jostle for command, someone is bound to rise to the top. I motion to Aresta without thinking, obviously.
Technically, Brevin was assigned a new fang. No one else, but he was assigned a new fang before all this happened.
So then is this his taking control of it and expanding it?
Couldn't be official if there were 12 people. Fangs aren't 12.
No.
Let's go see.
Thanks.
When you go to calisthenics, Brevin is standing in a line by himself.
Because he's the only one in his fang. That's it.
The others who were following him are equally spread out, not loosely affiliated, nobody standing in attention in a fang, but it's still clear that they keep glancing over at him. It seems that if they're being obvious about banding together, they're not doing it in an official capacity yet.
How does he seem at this hour? Like, does he seem, battle hardened and ready, or like upset that people aren't kind of flocking to his side?
He seems well rested. His hair is slightly askew and covering one of his eyes, but
yeah. Pyre's does a swan dip to touch his toes or whatever. I don't know.
What's a swan dip?
It's like the second part of a sun salutation, right? Up and then arms out and down. I'm not gonna stand and demonstrate because I'm wearing 2 different shades of green and I'm embarrassed.
It's adorable.
It's
nice
a little
outfit.
ridiculous, but thank you.
You're welcome.
But yes, it's arms out and bend over.
I don't do sun salutations anymore. I'm okay with this.
The sun isn't. Good thing we aren't playing a solar campaign.
Ba-ding.
Otherwise, everything is shockingly normal. A normal day of calisthenics, a normal breakfast, normal classes. There's no game today. Are you trying to do anything in specific while you are navigating your academic life?
I think Gail's excited at the prospect of them going through a day without having all the focus on them, so she's just trying not to ruffle any feathers.
Now, one thing that you were discussing last session is whether or not you were going to go to the Commandant with your information.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So when you break for lunch, you have the opportunity to discuss this again.
Are we still on the same page as we were yesterday?
I believe so.
It's still a bit of a dangerous move, but I don't think that that's a real problem. It's a dangerous game we're playing, right? I mean, kind of. No?
There is something to be said for putting ourselves in the thick of it. And the more people who are aware of us and what we know, in a sense, that makes us safer.
Explain.
Well, somebody who sneaks around too much becomes disposable. It's easy to explain away what an accident that might occur to them.
Right. Well, I mean, if nothing else, we've certainly made a name for ourselves, and there seem to be people who want us to continue doing so, for better or for worse. So I don't think we're going to be fading away into the background anytime soon.
Ugh.
Like it or not, toss.
You like it, I think, the attention.
What? Gail whispered.
You're wearing highlighter
How does it look?
on fleek.
Amazing.
Does Gail utter the words on fleek?
She doesn't. That was all Liz.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
I want to write it down.
Sorry.
I'm gonna write it down. Pyre's is wearing
That's going into the
I can't
comments
say no
in the
to that.
newspaper next week. I heard Gail whispered say something was on fleek.
Stop trying to make on fleek happen. It's not gonna happen.
Is this a new secret weapon at the House of Bells? Will we be able to see the Commandant after class?
I believe so.
Are we all supposed to go?
Well, are we also going to take this opportunity to inform her about our oath?
Right. That's the pretense. Because we need to report this. The
Yeah.
person needs to know. And then we also have additional, more sensitive information. Pyre says, glancing around because his voice travels sometimes.
Indoor voice.
Indoor voice Pyres. Actually, question, John. Like, we're in the mess hall. There's probably a bit of, no, not chaos, but like hubbub and stuff. Does anyone seem to be paying particular attention to us today on a not game day?
You're already starting to attract a certain amount of attention, but it's not like people are watching you every single place you go. You do notice that there are more eyes on you than before, yes.
Okay. Okay, well, I'm not particularly worried because I'm going to try not to, like, drop specifics here.
But are we all going?
I believe so.
We're hearthmaids. We're a fang. That's what we do.
Yes.
We're a fang at the pleasure of the administration of this school.
We're hearthmaids by the pleasure of ourselves. I know.
Pleasure of our... Is...
I was
Did something
reading...
happen that I was not aware of?
No, I was reading a book on rhetoric, and it said to try to, like, use the same sentence structure. It just didn't. Pyres is, like, getting a bit red because it didn't fly, you know?
Are you attempting to learn rhetoric?
Well, I thought it'd be good to be well spoken, yeah.
I think that's cute.
I think it's a good skill to sharpen.
I have a feeling that well, in times of war, there are those commanders who plan and strategize, and there are those commanders who lead and make decisions in the heat of battle. I believe my skills are better suited to the latter.
What's stopping us from going right now?
Wanting to eat and
Time?
class. And possibly disturbing her lunch break.
How urgent was her missive? I mean, was she looking for an answer right away, or?
She just tasked me with finding out more and then reporting back to her, but I was not given a deadline.
Okay, I understand. Then I guess we finish the day out and we go and find her in the evening.
Yes.
Yeah.
Commander?
Correct.
Commander.
We.
We will be
No.
watching. Then it's the rest of the day of classes for you. I should point out that when you show up to classes these days, actually, let's see how well you understand. Roll me your perception presence, please.
For Scott, specifically?
All of you.
Okay.
You're all in classes, unless some of you decided not to go.
John, I'm just trying to get into the habit of announcing my specialties, but I'm going to assume my present specialty, when impassioned, does not apply here.
1.
Three
1, 2,
success.
3.
So Scott,
Yeah.
Pyres does notice that teachers are starting to look at members of your fang with a certain amount of trepidation. Almost as if, crossing you is a bad idea, not crossing you is a bad idea. You're marked. You get the distinct impression that you are marked. I'm also going to take a break for 2 seconds to address the conversation that's happening in chat.
Oh.
The numbers that you are being quoted are not absolute because armies cannot guarantee the presence of all soldiers at all times. They are general rules, at least in this campaign. So if a fang is 5 If somebody gets hurt in your fang, it doesn't mean you're no longer a fang. Or if somebody's killed in your fang, it doesn't mean that you stop being a fang because you're 4 and not 5. The same with talons, wings, dragons, or legions. The numbers are approximates in this campaign. Anyway.
Yeah, no, that's good to know. Nice. Yes, everyone.
By the time your classes are finished, I should point out that a day of classes at the House of Bells is long and tiring. Sometimes it's mentally tiring because all of your classes just involve studying history or studying manuals or studying tactics or studying each other. And some days it's physical, that it's just getting the hell beaten out of you on the field of battle over and over and over again. Today it's more of a mental day, but by the time you're finished and by the time the dinner bell has long since rung, you're ready.
So we have our premise and we have our additional information. Is there a particular approach we want to take?
I would feel more comfortable if somebody else did all the talking.
Pyrus, do you think you're able to convey our intentions?
As best I can, of course.
Then you will be our voice.
I understand that the Commandant is not particularly fond of Viren these days, as is everyone at the House of Bells, apparently, except one. So I'm sure she'll be very interested in what we have to say.
I think it is important to make her aware of the fact that Viren tried to keep us from speaking of this to anyone.
So I'm going to reconfirm with my Fang here, just briefly. I am not going to mention the conversation that Viren and Bracken were having.
No.
Correct.
I'm just confirming with my Fang, guys. Don't worry about me. But of course, I will tell her in confidence, because we were asked to keep it in confidence, about the mission that was assigned to us by Viren, who clearly has this same goal himself. Perfect.
And if she calls on me to deliver my report on Viren's motives behind the games, I will explain that he is attempting to sow discord and chaos to see who takes advantage of that situation.
Right. Well, I mean, that's why we're going, really. But I understand if you want me to,
Yes, please.
Then we go. And our purpose is to be present as a Fang, supporting our Fang mates.
When you arrive, administration makes you wait for a good 30 minutes outside. You are not allowed to sit. You must stand at attention, waiting for the Commandant to be ready. 30 minutes of standing at attention is no small feat for an average person. For trained soldiers like you, it's kind of par for the course. Just don't lock your knees. And then the door finally opens up and you hear a very clipped "Enter."
We'll troop in and take our positions. I'll try to stand somewhere in the center of our lineup, with Aresta in the lead.
Yeah.
As usual.
For like 36 hours usual.
It's true, eh? I feel like a lot's happened.
Yeah.
To what do I owe this visit?
Commandant, we have news that we felt it important to share with you in person, if we can have a moment of your time. Commandant, the Fang of the Lost Hand that you see before you, we have become sworn hearthmates.
Go on.
This is the first piece of news that we had to deliver because I believe it's important for the administration of the House of Bells to know when people's passions and duties expand, not change. If you catch my meaning, Commandant. Also, pursuant to Gale Whispered's mission that you gave to her, which of course, as a Fang, we are all aware, we had a meeting with the Games Master, and despite being told to keep this information to ourselves, we felt that as good soldiers it was important to report this to our leader. The Games Master Viren believes there is a traitor here at the House of Bells that is being kept hidden, and that it has been infiltrated by, well, someone or something. We were tasked with helping to uncover any additional information about it.
By whom?
The Games Master.
I see. And you believe that the Games Master has the ability to suss out traitors in a school of learning of which he has only been present for a few weeks.
If I had to guess, Commandant, I imagine the Games Master has allies with whom he is working, and we approached him on a separate matter, but I imagine he is attempting to spread his influence to the students as well. I don't wish to insinuate that his influence is destructive, simply that it exists, and that perhaps it is happening under your nose.
Gale whispered, I gave you an assignment. Report.
The Games Master is intentionally seeking to destabilize the school and its students. Amidst the destabilization, he is, or so he claims to be, seeking out who is taking advantage of the ensuing chaos. He feels that anyone who seeks to take advantage of the situation is likely a traitor.
He believes by weakening an army that others will take advantage of an army's weakness.
Correct.
These are not tactics. This is basic sense. One does not need to prove this. It is proven.
But who it is that takes advantage is what is in question.
I am not in the business of sacrificing soldiers in order to root out espionage.
We come to you with information, not endorsements of this information.
Of course. She gets up from behind her desk and turns and faces the window. You can see that her fingers are flexing slightly. She's thinking. You have not been dismissed.
That's good.
What is your intention? You've clearly listened to Viren. You've come to me. You've made some pretty spectacular accusations.
Our intentions, Commandant, as a Fang, is to serve the House of Bells, and to make sure that if it has indeed been infiltrated with traitors, that we aid in the bringing of them to justice. Traitors to the realm won't be tolerated. We know this. And we...
Viren's actions are within his right, and within the purview of his responsibilities. He has not committed a crime.
It's simply, Commandant, that if he is seeking to uncover any infiltration here at the House of Bells, and you as the Commandant wish to accomplish the same thing, I understand you don't like each other's methods, but perhaps we can all work together And Pyres is like, "Burp," and stops talking and just kind of like,
Participate in the games. If you are called upon, as you seem to be a favorite to be called upon, you will participate to the best of your ability. You will prove that you cannot be broken.
Of course.
At the same time, if you can discover a pattern, if you can discover where there may be cracks, I trust that you will take note of them.
Yes.
Commander, is your Fang fit to participate in these games?
Yes.
Commander, do you have any suspicion as to why you are being targeted for these games?
Sorry, that's an out of game pause, and I'm trying to remember exactly what we
There have been 3 games.
Yeah,
You participated in the first
I
2.
know that they've tried to like scheme us into all of them. I don't remember whether we figured out why they're trying to do it yet.
He said he believes we are proper students.
and I think it was Juwin who said that someone can correct me on this.
Yeah.
Someone told us like we can take the hate was kind of what I remember as well.
Okay. Thanks,
remember if that was
friends, for helping
It
me.
was.
Oh, of course, yeah.
Yeah.
We all have notes.
Yeah, I'm like, I have
got
notes,
this.
but I can't read them right now. It's too much everywhere. We showed strength and resilience in our first game when we were only 3. We added 2 to our number. We are now a Fang of 5. We have shown strength, and thus we can be the anvil against which every other Fang is shaped.
Do you believe that you are the preeminent Fang of the House of Bells?
No.
A group that has been together for a few days.
No. I think that we have been designated as a tool. A strong tool. One that others think they know how it will act in response to its use. We have reason to believe that we may continue to be called upon for these games more often than others.
Cadets Flavienne, Siantel, you are dismissed. Return to the barracks and wait for the rest of your Fang. They both immediately snap up, nod, turn, and leave. Although there's some glances from Flavienne to her commander, there's some glances from Siantel to all 3 of you.
I catch their eye, but like I give a nod of like, go ahead.
The 3 of you were chosen to remain, whereas the rest of your former Fangmates were expelled from this establishment. You have not addressed this in your report. Why?
We were told that we are now a new Fang and that we have always been this Fang. I will admit that our understanding was if anyone would know, you and other staff members would.
I take the recommendations of my officers. I was not the one responsible for expelling the rest of your Fang. I merely processed them. You 3 were spared.
By whose hand, may we ask?
I was given a list of students to expel. I was not given a list of students to exempt.
Commandant, this is going to sound impertinent, and I do not mean it to be.
You have permission to speak freely for the duration of this conversation.
Pyres does a yes. inside. I am kidding.
As long as you free that.
Oh.
Nope.
No, she is a tippet.
Position authority.
I'm trying to remember now. It was about being kept. Commandant, if you took the advice of one or some of your officers in expelling students that were not us, so we were allowed to remain by someone's hand, a mysterious benefactor. I think we have a sense of who that might be, although the reason for that is completely strange. But Commandant, why are you allowing fangs to be disbanded in these games? It's sowing chaos in the student body. There are students who are finding alternate ways of structuring themselves for their own power. There might be some sort of lame coup attempt. I don't know. It just... chaotic.
You're saying that now this is beyond the actions of one professor, and now there is a mutiny? A coup?
There is not, Commandant. I'm being a little reactionary, as is my nature, I suppose. But there are wheels that are turning here because of the chaos being sown by the games. Students don't feel safe in their fangs. I assume they feel relatively safe in their lives. I assume. Why are we allowing this to happen?
Because I have faith in the cadets under me.
And Juin didn't share with you why our names didn't make it on that list of hers?
Quartermaster Juin.
I probably would have said Quartermaster Juin.
Quartermaster Juin gave me the information that I needed. My individual conversations with my officers are not for you to be privy to.
Then we cannot further explain our situation than you can.
Understood.
I wish we knew more. If there was something connecting the three of us, perhaps our families, perhaps our status.
Viren has been given jurisdiction over the formation and dissolution of games. He has also been given jurisdiction over how these games are assigned and the results therein.
Who oversees Viren?
If you require a lesson in military hierarchy, Cadet Gale whispered, one can be arranged for you.
I believe I require a lesson in this particular situation, Commandant. Yes.
Can I have you roll me your charisma bureaucracy, please?
Yes.
Nice. That's +1.
Yeah!
Real.
You can get 2 dice for your stunt.
Thank you.
Nice.
It's a bot.
Yay! It's the charisma that did it for me.
Oh, 1,000.
Gale whispered what you may understand in the moments immediately following you opening your mouth is that the underwritten what she was attempting to say was, I don't have to tell you, or I do not want to tell you, so I'm going to pretend like everything is normal. And then you just pushed. You have your orders.
Yes, Commandant.
Dismissed. She glares for a second at Gale Whispered before she turns back to the window. A very clear, get the fuck out of my office. Your interview is over.
Telling twice.
I'd like to use
A knife?
No, I'd like
Stab
to
her in the back?
My observations throughout this conversation to get a sense. I specifically wanted to get a read on her response to when I mentioned Juin picking those who got expelled.
Mm-hmm.
I want to see if she has any intimacies towards giving and receiving orders.
Yeah, I think that's a legitimate thing to do. You can
And
get
I
your
guess
2 dice for
everything
that.
else that was
Darn
discussed
skippy.
on that.
If any of you are also going to attempt to read intentions, now's the time.
Can I do a profile character?
Yes, you can.
You'll
You'll get 2 dice for your stunt.
It's perception investigation, right?
That's correct.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5 successes.
At least I believe you're correct. 5 successes?
Yeah.
Okay, well, her guile is 4, so congratulations.
Yeah.
You're specifically asking whether she has intimacies towards giving or receiving orders?
Yeah, towards orders or something adjacent to that word that I can't think of. So yeah.
She has a major intimacy. Trust in how the military does things because it saves lives.
She also has a defining intimacy of fuck that intimacy based on how Taos Tepet. Anyway, okay. I would want to as well. Sorry, as you're rolling as well, Liz. I would also like to read intentions about intimacies towards Juin. Just the inflection on the word quartermaster, I feel like would be really interesting.
Very
How does
nice.
she feel about the title of this person?
Okay.
Thanks.
And yes, I confirm it's perception investigation versus guile.
Oh, versus guile. 3 successes.
I also got 5 successes on this roll.
Nice.
She has a minor intimacy towards Quartermaster Juin. Trust.
Okay. Minor, eh? Doesn't upset her that much day to day.
Well, if it's listed as an intimacy, it matters.
Right. Yes. Sorry. I just mean.
Otherwise, she just wouldn't have any intimacy. Like, oh yeah, whatever, her. Pff, I don't care. And then it wouldn't be an intimacy at all.
Yeah. Right.
It is a minor intimacy.
Major is more like, oh shit, you need me to drop everything for a sec. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That makes more sense. And we are turning our heel and we are going.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, with commander's permission.
Yeah, we go. So what did that net us? We verified that at least the half of the message that said that Juin was the one who picks who gets expelled, or picked who got expelled, is true. Whether or not we now believe that means we can't trust her, up to our choice, I suppose. What else do we gain?
The commandant doesn't seem particularly hands-on. That's my takeaway. She's, obviously she's being overruled when it comes to, the authority lies in the games master's hands as to what happens with the games, but, I rely on the advice of my officers. The games master is choosing to do this. I trust in the ability of the students to take care of themselves.
This
Trusting
might
in the
mean they
system.
have the same person overseeing them. Or it means that there are 2 very different sides here at play. One side, which is Juin and Nuvin, and whoever oversees them, and the other is Vieren, and whoever's working with him.
The House of Bells is an institution for all the princes of the earth. Well, those who are selected to go here, I suppose.
Specifically, it's I am going to interrupt you there. Not all princes of the earth of the realm, yes, but not all dragon-blooded are part of the realm.
You are.
Just want to make sure that that's clear.
No, thank you. Yeah, I wasn't sure whether to use the word like dynasts there because that's
that
also
would
not
be closer to correct.
Okay, that makes sense. And of course, there are patrons, or at least there are arrangements made for students to attend. But is the House of Bells overseen in that way?
Not in an obvious way, no.
Oh, I see.
But it could be money, it could be political influence, it could be rare and magical materials.
I give over Gale's, or from behind Gale's back, I give Aresta a tinfoil hat. I mime a tinfoil hat. Why did? I mean, sorry, I know why she sent the others back, but do you really think she doesn't know why we're here?
It's possible she's been told not to care.
Told not to care? The Commandant?
Yes. Told not to worry herself.
She has faith in the people assembled.
She can't occupy herself with every single cadet who comes through here. Her main priority is the general image and reputation of the House of Bells. So until that is truly threatened, I don't think she will get involved. And what we're doing right now is stirring the pot.
A commander of a legion cannot fret over every decision of their sub-commanders. They have to have faith in them.
Or else it would be
You'd
chaos.
be trying to micromanage thousands. You can't do that.
Where are you headed, by the way?
We're headed back to our barracks.
Okay.
Back to
You at
there,
this
yeah.
point arrive.
Okay.
Flavienne is there. Siantel is not. Flavienne is sitting down, and she is individually oiling every claw of her artifact.
Sweet.
Where's Siantel?
She went off into the woods. Said she needed a moment to think.
The woods.
Sorry. She went off into the woods. She said she needed a moment to think.
We will afford her that moment. But if she's gone too long, we'll have to go catch her.
Right.
There are things going on.
We do what we need to do.
Absolutely.
Do you tell her what went on
Yeah.
afterwards?
Yeah. So, what we're trying to determine is whether she is just trusting in the various commanders beneath her or parallel to her, or whether this laissez-faire attitude is somehow malicious or put upon.
I, for one, refuse to believe that the Commandant is doing anything untowards. Towards the house, I mean. The Commandant must have the best interests of the institution and its students at heart. I truly believe that. But what bothers me is that she doesn't seem willing or interested in working alongside Viera. If they're trying to do the same thing, she didn't seem bothered when I mentioned infiltrators, traitors.
I think she has faith in the strength of the House of Bells, and that if it starts to crack, either she will act or she trusts that someone else will. She knows that we're looking into it, and she knows that Viren is looking into it.
I think more importantly than that, even, Aresta, it's what you said. She trusts others to look into it. She trusts Juin. I believe Juin has more power here than we initially thought.
But what about, the first strike is always the strongest? Surely she should be taking immediate, decisive action as soon as
Against
possible.
who?
Against the spirits in the night? The whispers in the halls?
Speaking of spirits in the night, outside the window you can see that Leanne, the messenger, is starting to cross the campus again. Were you just like leaning out and watching?
Yes.
Oh.
Your window only shows a certain section. You'd actually have to leave if you wanted to.
What time is
for
it?
a long period of time.
She's,
It's dark, but it's not yet bedtime.
how long has Chantel been gone?
I mean, 10 minutes.
Get squirrely.
We should find her. I mean, I know she needs time alone. I just want to make sure nothing happens.
Yes, that's a good idea.
It is. Thanks, Gail. Yeah, it is. Yeah.
Great. And do any of us want to follow Leanne?
Would we not trust Leanne now?
Is there anybody we can trust?
Each other, because we swore an oath.
Yeah. Each other. And Chantel, wherever she is.
Well,
She was implied.
somebody needs to go and find Chantel. Somebody... We could track Leanne if we wished.
No, not unless she shows up at our door.
Unless she's going to meet with that mysterious woods spirit again. Hmm?
Let's go find Chantel.
Yeah.
What, all of us?
I can stay behind.
She points towards where the woods are, where you formerly were harvesting doors.
Oh, yeah.
Doors.
Ah, yes.
She's
the
just over
driest-
there. I don't think that this is the sort of thing we need all of us to go. I could go if that...
No, Aresta, do you want to come with me and we'll have a look and see what Leanne is up to? If we're two, at least we can just say that we're out for a discussion, maybe working on a project or something. Gail, you can go and find Chantel.
Yes, I can do this.
Yeah, Gil, if you could go with Leanne.
So Vivian gets up.
I got my artifact with me. Just in case of beasties.
I don't.
So who's doing what?
I'm going to the woods.
Okay.
I would suggest that we go like just outside, but I don't actually necessarily want to follow Leanne entirely. I just want to see if I can't follow her path as much as possible.
So you just need an excuse to like stand around outside to
Yeah.
watch people. So like
We're
you
gonna
start
take up
vaping.
Exactly. People
Yeah.
watch. I think, John, we're going to keep an eye, the rest and I are keeping an eye on Leanne. We're curious if she's venturing off the beaten path or how she's, like, if she's clearly delivering something to
All
somebody.
right. Well, you are definitely keeping an eye on her then. So that's going to be a wits investigation for you.
Detective, oh no.
And then
Oh, no.
Chantel, for those who are searching after her, I'm going to ask you to roll me your one of two things, either your perception awareness or your manipulation awareness.
It's the same thing.
Well,
Really?
Yep.
Pretty good.
how about that?
How about that? How about it?
John, if I describe how I'm trying to engage Aresta in like a relatively fiery discussion of one of the tactics we learned today, and about like striking first while the iron is hot, as a way of kind of covering for. The
That
fact
covers
I'm
why you're outside. That's absolutely
Yeah.
a stunt. Go for it.
taking it.
Oh.
Thank you.
Nice.
Yep.
Is it? Hey, it is.
And
Yeah,
then
I got-
for you, sorry,
Yep. Nope.
what did you get?
3 successes.
Okay, Kale whispered.
I got one success.
Okay.
Nice.
So for the two of you, you see that Leanne is headed directly towards the administration offices, so where Viren's cabin is specifically.
Okay.
When you get into the woods,
Mm-hmm.
Flavienne turns to you. Everything's going to be all right. You seem nervous, stressed. It's going to be fine.
I'm not stressed.
Are you lying to me?
Oh,
No.
acting. Sorry, you hear it called from afar.
She
Obviously.
reaches out and she just gives Gail Whispered a squeeze on her shoulder, assuming that she doesn't immediately like. Ugh.
I think she maybe like twitches a bit, but she's good.
Boing.
Rebooting.
It is going to be fine.
Yes, of course.
She's right over there. And she points. And Siantel is sitting beneath one of the large trees. She's got her hands folded underneath her chin, and she seems to be gazing up into the leaves, although it's relatively dark out.
Gil's just gonna like wait quietly with Flavienne.
I can see you're there. Is it time for me to come home?
We wanted to make sure that everything was okay.
That's nice.
Why wouldn't everything be okay? We're only just in the middle of a massive conspiracy that seems to somehow target our individual Fang, and yet is important enough to be driven all the way up to the Commandant.
And it was getting dark, and our Fang has who knows how many enemies, so...
You're saying I shouldn't be out alone.
I'm saying it would be tactically imprudent.
Was everything about tactically imprudent to you?
No.
No, I'm just imagining Flavienne's like, should I go? Or...
Flavienne starts to head back towards the barracks, and Siantel stands up.
Gail's gonna go to follow Flavienne.
Yep. So all of you start heading back towards the barracks, and then when you arrive, there is a general hubbub happening in the corridors. There are people starting to bang on the doors, or at least on the frames outside the doors, specifically where you last saw Brevin spend his night.
Commander, permission to investigate?
Yeah, I mean, we would go.
You're
back in.
outside, but you can hear this
Yeah.
by the time they're starting to get back.
Yeah.
We're gonna take off in the direction and see what's going
Try
on.
to regain our Fang. Rejoin our Fang.
Yes, yeah. Try to get everybody together. For
Hello.
So you're all together, and then the door opens up. The students are massed outside, and Brevin's standing there. He has welts on his shoulders. Does anybody have any kind of medicine?
One.
You have 5?
I have 1.
5!
I have
Oh.
one as well.
Sorry.
These are wounds consistent with lashes from a whip.
Oh no. Virus, you need to tenderly give him a sponge bath.
I have to tenderly give him a sponge bath. Okay, Gail, thanks.
You're welcome.
I'm all right. But somebody has to stand up to them.
What happened? I call out through the crowd.
No business of yours. And then the students who are gathered around outside turn around, and there's a distinct moment of, oh, it's Pyres and Brevin. It's Pevin. Previn? Pyvin?
We'll get there.
Briars is so
This is
much
gonna be
better. Come on.
I know, I love it.
I told the quartermaster exactly what I thought. She returned the favor.
John, what are the odds I still have damage on my body from the quartermaster? Like I think it was 2 sleeps ago, 2 nights ago.
And how many health levels of damage did you take?
None. Okay. None. So none. Okay.
But he's so good looking that I feel like if he wanted a really cool scar, one could just appear.
No,
right?
I don't want a cool scar. It says chick stick scars.
I did.
I mean, that at least tells me that something. Well, it's quite recent, but also it's pretty big. That was how he was told.
Pyres met a similar fate quite recently, didn't you?
Yeah, although it doesn't look like it was quite as bad.
So you're saying that you're better at fighting Juin than me?
No,
I took my
Brevin,
punishment the way that I was meant to bear it.
I'm saying you must have really pissed off the quartermaster.
If I'm not allowed to choose who gets to be in my fang, and if I have to be in a fang of one, then my commander will hear of it. You don't deserve to be without a leader. None of you deserve to wander the hallways of this academy without knowing who is there for you, to stand up for you, to command and to lead you. We're soldiers. We move as a unit. We move as one. And I will be there for you.
I'd like to try to get closer.
You want to get closer to Brevin?
Yes. I want to arrest the suspects. She'd like to see the location of the wounds and whether they are consistent with being inflicted by another or by potentially self-flagellation for the purpose of stirring up.
That is interesting. So you're moving closer. You can have your 2 dice stunt. This is going to be very specifically an intelligence medicine.
Oh, not perception.
Oresta. Oresta.
Oresta.
I'm going to...
Thank
Your difficulty for this roll is going to be 3. 2.
2?
2. We'll say it's 2.
I'm going to spend a willpower. I don't want to fuck this up.
Super curious about this.
I got 1 success for my willpower.
That prevented a botch.
It did.
Nice.
It did.
I will tell you this.
Mm-hmm.
The wounds on his shoulders are dead center of his shoulder.
Shoulder side.
So it is unlikely that he earned them in battle.
Mm-hmm.
That doesn't necessarily mean that he did it himself.
Yeah.
It means that it was these are 2 deliberate wounds.
Yeah.
So if he said, I took my punishment, then there's a chance that he is telling the truth.
Yep.
Yeah.
But there is an equal chance in your eyes that maybe he did it to himself.
Brevin, I know you don't want my support, but I just want to voice on behalf of my fang that I agree with you. I don't think you deserve to be in a fang of one.
If only you had thought of that.
Wasn't
When
my
we
fault.
didn't know that the fangs were being disbanded? Come on, Brevin.
When you injured me in the mess hall.
When you attacked us in the mess hall? Brevin,
Yeah.
come on. You can make
Yeah.
yourself a martyr without skewing the truth.
Yeah, man, you really, you earned it that day. But I still don't think this is fair.
He looks up over the crowd and stares off at a distant point. You're right. Maybe I did earn it. Well, it's time that I learned from my mistakes.
What are you gonna do?
And the crowd shifts towards sympathy for Brevin.
Oh no, it's happening.
I can't claim to be perfect. I can only claim to be on your side. All of you.
You should go see Garavel.
Yeah, you should go see Garavel. Yeah, Aresta's right. Yeah, I think you should do what Aresta says.
This is perfect. Who needs? Yeah, no, it's good.
Leaving those wounds too long is inadvisable.
Come on, we're going to take you there. And a couple of the students walk forward and flank him on either side. You're right. Thank you, Commander.
Commander?
He looks at Pyrus for a moment, right after he says Commander, and then he allows himself to be led away.
Can I try to start, like, not start, but can I, as he's walking away, I'd like to sort of pump my fist up into the air and echo his words, united as one.
It's not pump up the jam.
Wait, what?
Pump up the jam. Fires, are you okay?
What are we uniting as one for?
I start spinning on my head.
No, but like actually I'm trying to understand.
Oh, well, so I mean, yeah, I feel like Brevin said, he wanted to sort of like lead and be, unite the student body in this. So I want to echo his sentiment and play on the crowd's like sympathy for him.
Okay.
So I guess it could be an inspire, but it could also maybe be a persuade if I'm like acting on a intimacy of.
So a mass persuade is going to be a little harder.
That's challenging, yeah.
Than an inspire. What I get the impression of is that off the cuff, what is your end goal? What are you trying to get them to do?
I want everybody to echo my call right now.
So you basically want them to follow you.
In shouting something that he said.
So then that is a persuade.
Yeah.
Because an instill, like you could have an instill of people being like, instill, Pyres is an all right dude.
Yeah.
You could do it that way. It
Okay.
could be an inspire, get everybody to have an emotion that you can designate. Or you can have it be a persuade, which is do what I'm doing.
It's a challenge, but I feel like that's what Pyres wants to do. So he wants to play on the intimacy that, like, Brevin's instilled sympathy in the crowd. Pyres is going to use that sympathy to try to drive home the point that we're all behind him, and that he's also pretty persuasive.
Yeah, and you're also really attractive, so that helps your
All right.
pool.
So this is how it's going to go down. This is going to be a charisma presence. You must take a -3 penalty because you are attempting to influence many targets at once.
Okay.
You are acting upon a supposed intimacy, which is sympathy for Brevin.
Okay.
Then I will say go ahead. Your difficulty in this is 3.
Stunt?
Yeah, you get your stunt.
Yay! All right, we're doing it. I'm going to spend a point of willpower on this. Ah!
Okay.
Because what's willpower for if not... What's willpower... Oh, hang on. I'll
This
spend it.
is not a performance. A performance would be a prepared speech that he was given, or at least an impromptu speech. He's literally chanting and hoping that other people are chanting with him.
Yep. You hope to do that one day. That is 4 successes.
So as the chanting begins, you
United
see,
as one.
as the doors open and Brevin is let out, you see Juin standing just outside, staring into the building, and it almost seems like her eyes just go straight to Pyres.
Mm-mm.
What is the exact chant that you're having them copy?
United as one. United as one. My fangmates don't have to get
Yeah,
So she
no,
isn't-
Arrest is actually specifically stepping back from Pyres doing this.
I'm gonna be in trouble.
So she isn't stopping you. She isn't stopping anybody. And in fact, she's not like standing and glowering at all the students, just you.
I'll wait till Brevin's walked a certain distance away, and then I'll, united as one.
Anything else that you wish to accomplish before bed?
I mean, I
Such
guess
as a dressing down of your subordinate commander?
I'd like to talk to him back in the barracks once we get there.
Kick his ass. Kick his...
Can I at least have my sword? Oh!
Go
So
ahead,
does
Aresta.
the crowd dissipate and stuff?
Yes, they do dissipate. Some of them go with him to Garavel. Others just return. It's getting late.
Yeah.
So, for someone who told the commandant that he was worried about a student uprising, you just did a lot to support that, Pyres. I don't understand what you're playing at.
I don't want Brevin to feel like he's not supported by us. That's the point. That's what I want. I think
So
that
you were
he's-
lying to the commandant when you said you were worried about a student uprising. You're not
No.
actually worried, you want to support it.
No, I don't. This institution, I know that we would, no one would ever be able to overthrow the House of Bells, but I don't want chaos here either. I'm worried about Brevin.
Your weak spot. The weak spot we identified yesterday.
I'm gonna like.
No, that's exactly what this is.
It is.
You gave us fair warning that when it comes to Brevin, you don't always make the wisest decisions, and this is proof of that. So we need to be more vigilant in the future to prevent this happening again.
If he
You
digs
can
his
s-
own grave, he's gonna bring the rest of us down with him.
Support him without supporting the uprising. You can support him by discouraging the uprising.
I don't think he's gonna listen to me, but that's actually a really good idea.
You could support him by being his friend and confidant.
I mean, I tried that, Aresta. Honestly, I've tried so hard. I really feel like I've done everything I can to make Brevin
Notice you. And he's not going to notice you if you just support him like any of the others.
Maybe he's comfortable with the fact that everybody goes to him. Maybe he expects you to keep trying to make connections again and again and again. What would happen if you stopped? This is an interesting hypothesis. We should test this.
Oh, the attractive person who walks into the room and only notices the one person who doesn't look at them.
Yes. Starting tomorrow.
Play hard to get? I want to
it's-
look at our other two fang mates.
Yeah, I wanna check in with Siontel and Flavienne about this interesting course of action that's happening as well.
What is more important to you? Is it your attraction to Brevin, or is it this situation here at the school? Is it both, or is it neither?
I can't grow up to be everything that I need to be if the House of Bells falls apart. So I guess it's the House of Bells that's more important.
Just because one thing is a priority does not mean that the rest must fall. But understand your priority.
You can fight a war on many fronts.
I don't like feeling like we're being puppeteered, you know? Like somebody knows something about us and it's really bugging me that we're being kept around for some mysterious reason that even I don't know about.
If it's
Maybe
any
it's those.
consolation, Pyres, everyone is being puppeteered.
I don't know if that's true.
It was just confirmed today. I'm positive.
Okay. I don't understand, but I don't not believe you. I'm confused.
The cadets aren't the only pieces on this board.
A door opens, your door opens, and Leanne places a scroll on the ground.
I'd like to quickly cross through the door and hold it at least open, if not. Like, I want to...
You want to get up in her grill?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay. Good evening.
Just kidding.
Aresta.
Does this come from our friend or yours?
I'm the messenger. And she turns and she starts to head out.
I'm glad you're still okay.
She shakes her head as she walks. Her hand is trembling.
You drop this. And I'm going to take off a bracelet that I tend to wear.
She turns back. That's not mine.
As I put it into her hand, if I can do so, and I want to try to take the hand that was trembling and put it into her hand.
Her hand's still trembling.
If they threaten you, if you believe you're at risk,
I'm not the one at risk.
your Fang, us, we'll be okay.
I hope so.
You'll just have to give this back to me.
She immediately places the bracelet around her wrist and then practically flies down the corridor, leaving the barracks.
Well, that's not how you want to go to sleep.
I'm reaching for the note.
Yep.
It's on the ground.
Yep.
The seal on the note is the one that you recognize from Cathakviran.
Okay.
All right, let's break that seal.
Break that seal.
Game number 4. The Fang of the Lost Hand versus Quartermaster Nellens Juin, The Glade, Noon.
Well,
Iris
you
is going
can
to
play Matchy Samey with Briars. Briars. Brevin.
What?
Sorry, go ahead.
No, I'm just going to lie down on the floor and put my face down on the ground, like, honestly, at this point.
Okay, then she does say, well, then you can play Matchy Samey with Brevin real soon. You're going to have your weapons for this, Pyres. I will give them to you at the beginning and take them back at the end, but I'm not sending us into this without them.
Quartermaster Juin didn't tell me that I've earned them back yet, though.
It's up to me to decide. And it's up to me as commander of this Fang to make the best tactical decisions for my Fang. And if she sees issue with the return of your weapons for the purpose of this game, she can take it out on me during the game.
Yeah, I guess she can.
How do we outsmart her?
This is bad, guys, because, like, either we lose and we're disbanded, or somehow we win, and then the quartermaster
Loses face in front of the entire school.
I don't think we can let that happen.
Right? So, either we are discredited, she is discredited, or the game itself is discredited and thrown out.
Ga-ding. A light bulb goes on over Pyre's head.
Oh.
Not a literal
Are you quoting
idea,
like
just
Drawful's Gidding?
Yeah,
Ga-ding.
sorry, Liz has started doing it now.
Idiots.
I'm
I
doing
know, I
it.
can't stop. It's awful.
Yeah.
We could go to the quartermaster right now and throw ourselves on her mercy and try to come up with a plan together.
She seems to claim that she's our friend. That we can trust her.
There's something else.
Mm-hmm.
Hmm?
Leanne was worried when she handed this to you.
Yes.
Does that mean that she knew?
I assume that she would have had to deliver the other scroll to Juin.
Which means that
Unless
probably Juin didn't ask for this.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I mean, unless she did. Instead of putting another Fang in against us, for some reason, puts herself in instead. That doesn't make sense, though. That's.
There are 5 of us. There's only one of her. We could win.
We could.
Easily.
But we shouldn't.
Haven't seen those whips before, have you? That dire lash, sorry.
Mhm.
This needs to end in a draw, if it happens at all. Or it needs to be cancelled.
Thus far, the draw conditions mean that both teams lose. So how do we cancel a game? Not show up?
We have to find out if there's a way for both of us to win. Not draw, win.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Get the other team's marker at the end of the game, but then that's still a draw. How do we both win? Last team standing. Still a draw.
The Commandant told us that we had to fight, that we had to do our best to win.
We do.
Are we immediately going to start going against that by trying to figure out how to make her win too?
I don't think we can afford to make an enemy of the quartermaster.
So you'd rather be an enemy of the Commandant and Vieran?
I'd rather not be anyone's enemy at all. Really.
If we succeed and defeat Juin, which I do believe that we could figure out a way to do so, what does that accomplish? We win another game. We retain our strength. And we support whoever is trying to destabilize this school.
You don't think this is specifically a students versus faculty writ large kind of thing, do you all?
No.
You know, instead of Brevin versus the institution, it's us versus the quartermaster, and whoever wins which dictates the sort of shift of power. I need to sit down.
With your permission, Commander, and with the permission of my Fang, I would like to go see the quartermaster with anyone else who would like to come with me.
I will accompany you. Any of you can stay or join us.
Does he,
It might be wise for me to scout out the glade,
if you don't mind, we can see
just
if
in
there's
case we
anything
do
we
have
can-
to fight.
Yeah.
Yeah. Is the glade the same location as game 1?
Yes.
So at least there's that.
Oh, good. My hollowed log will still be there.
Hooray!
I'll be hiding
Yes,
away for the
the
duration
hollowed
of
log
our
trap.
ambush is still set up.
Yay!
Shit.
Aragorn has asked a question which I
Mhm.
believe we should
Mhm.
address. Historically, have the war games involved a faculty member versus a Fang? No. Never.
Okay. I would have thought that maybe there were some contexts in which faculty members, as means of training,
Oh, absolutely. As means of
participate in
training,
some-
would spar with students, perhaps. Would, but like in general, no.
Okay.
The teachers are not like they will make arrangements for any number of challenges. There's precedent that condemned prisoners can choose to join an opposing force against House of Bells cadets in an attempt to earn their freedom, right? Like this is established, but the professors themselves do not fight. Not in a war game, not specifically, and certainly not in any situation in which somebody's life may be in danger.
Yeah.
Do we
it
also
would
go
look
to Viren?
Pretty bad if someone accidentally killed a staff member. I mean,
Yeah.
or vice versa,
Yeah.
I guess. But like,
Good luck. And Siantel grasps each of your arms,
You too.
and then beetles out.
Schedule some sleep.
She looks back and grins, like any of us are gonna sleep.
yeah.
Do we
Hoping
also
to-
approach Viren? Ask him what the hell he's doing? I know that he told us that his plan is to destabilize and see who benefits. I didn't realize he would cut to the quick quite so significantly.
I think this is his way of punishing Juin. And we do not yet know enough about him and his motives to side with him by defeating her. We cannot.
And if we just lose because, she's skilled, she's the quartermaster of all the superiors we have here at the House of Bells, she's one of the most obvious to lose to.
Viren's looking for someone, right?
Yes,
What's the primary obstacle to finding somebody at the House of Bells?
the quartermaster.
Yeah.
They're sworn enemies.
No, but if she's out of commission because she's involved in an all-day game and can't leave, maybe it's a distraction.
Good point.
I don't think there's anything we can do about it other than
There is something we can do. We go, we speak to her. If by some miracle we convince her to join us, we stage some kind of fight, some kind of game. I figure out a way for it to end in both of us winning, but one or two of us slip away and see what Viren is up to while the game is going on. See what Leanne is up to. See if they can find Sepe.
or whoever else Viren might have gotten to.
Yes.
Could be anybody. Could be anybody.
Viren thus far has stayed at the games. As the games master.
Mhm.
Yes, but up until this point, the games were Fang versus Fang.
Yeah, this changes everything.
I do not mean to.
No, we're here, we're discussing.
We're hoping that Juin's protectiveness of the student body will help us.
Yes.
I don't see us losing anything by talking to her. Even if she disagrees with us, at least we go in knowing that she disagrees.
Siantel jumps back in via the window.
That was
Everything
quick.
okay?
She's in the glade. She's setting traps in the glade. She's already preparing to fight.
I'm still down to go talk to her.
Me too.
Yeah, let's go scout out the glade.
She can punish us for being out after hours if she wants. Again.
So you're heading out?
Yep.
Yep.
Okay. When you arrive, it's not hard to find her. And Siantel may have been exaggerating slightly. She is not necessarily setting traps, but she is definitely circling around the glade and she is digging holes. Small ones, about the size of your fist.
Good evening.
I trust that there's an excuse as to why you are not in your quarters.
We've been issued with a new game.
And
Challenge.
this gives you an excuse for you not to follow the rules.
The rules of the game are separate from the rules of the House of Bells, it would seem. The rules of the game include pitting staff member against students.
I'm bound by my commands, same as you.
And so you will fight the 5 of us under the rules of the games.
I do not know what the rules of the games will be.
Nor do we.
Quartermaster, we feel it would be in all of our best interests to have both sides win tomorrow's game, whatever the game may be.
Explain.
The Lost Hand now has a reputation for doing whatever it takes and fighting as hard as it can to win at the games. That is presumably what everyone expects the Lost Hand to do tomorrow. It would be absurd and stupid if the Fang defeated a faculty member, or if it were even close in any way. And I am going to say that my hunch here is that the Games Master did this intentionally. I think the Games Master is trying to send you a message. On the other hand, if you beat us, what does that prove? And in fact, we can make it a very, very boring game and just stand there and do nothing.
Ties means everyone loses. That's what has been made clear so far.
It's not a tie. We will figure out how to have both of us win. I understand we're asking you to put your faith in us when we don't know what the game is either, but you have to believe us, Quartermaster, that one of us triumphing over the other is not... It cannot be allowed to happen tomorrow.
What do either of us gain if we win? That would destabilize the school significantly. It would, I think, undermine your position within the school. If you were to win, what would it say? You're a skilled fighter, and you were able to take out a bunch of snot-nosed fifth years.
I don't see how that's a loss for me.
Very well. If that's what you want.
I'm listening.
I don't think it is what the Quartermaster wants.
Exactly.
Quartermaster, it's not a loss for you to defeat. It's not a loss for you to defeat us. It's a win. It's a tick in your notebook. But then they'll send.
Do you think I enjoy winning?
No, Quartermaster, exactly. They're going to keep sending fangs against you, and eventually you are going to dismantle every single student here at the House of Bells, every single fang, every single bond created and forged partially by your hand and the trust that we have in you. Quartermaster, I know you believe in us, and I know that you want us to succeed and that you want to protect us. Work with us on this. Don't make this... Just work with us, please. And I would like to try to instill an intimacy of trust, I guess.
Pity.
Yeah, I'd like to instill an intimacy of lust towards Pyres. No, trust in the Fang of the Lost Hand. Using her intimacy of guardianship towards the students of the House of Bells.
That is a major intimacy of hers.
It's defining.
Lols.
Sorry, defining.
According to notes.
Maybe she changed her mind after talking to us last time.
Fair.
Yeah, it's just like drop to a minor. Like, fuck this.
House of Bell's students. Blind hatred. Pure hatred.
Hatred.
Your difficulty is going to be 2. Go ahead.
Thank you.
Go for it.
You
Pliers.
stunt as well for your 2 dice.
Woo!
He did say that.
He did say that. Sorry, I'm just grabbing my... Okay. I'm going to take... Oh, difficulty is 2. Yes, okay, I see what you're saying. I understand now. Three successes. Just... Sometimes you roll a bunch of dice, and sometimes... Anyway, 3 successes.
Those who show up to the games are the ones who receive the missives. Who delivered the missive to you?
Pelops Leanne, 2nd year.
And if you never received this missive, would you have been required to attend? Similar to why you did not end up attending Game 3.
Yeah. Can neither confirm nor deny that.
That sounds an awful lot like a confirmation and a denial to me. Gale.
Your missive was already delivered. It's already been opened. Mine wasn't.
So then why are you preparing?
What do you think I'm doing here, Commander?
I do not know. I do not presume to know your intentions or actions, as they are above my station.
But it looks like you're setting traps for students in the glade. Not like to eat them, but just like for a fighter.
Ah, yes, every once in a while I've got a nice juicy 3rd year who appears.
I hunt the most dangerous game. Air.
Yeah.
This is not a trap. And then she looks very deliberately at Siantel, and Siantel lowers her eyes. This is an attempt to figure out what's exactly going to happen.
So, do we show up alone? Is that the suggestion?
I will arrange for another missive to be delivered. You're going to have to come. You were chosen. You will have to fight me. That was also in your missive. But I can deliver more.
Several fangs against you? That isn't interesting either. That's, yet again, that's just increasing the chance of your being overthrown. I don't want to send that message to the student body, to whoever wants things destabilized. Defeating you would destabilize. Your victory would be insignificant beyond resulting in the disbanding of whichever fang or fangs would fight you.
You cannot be disbanded so easily.
What if we gamed the game master?
Go on.
In war, there are unwritten rules of engagement. There are honorable ways to fight, but there are also ways to win.
But there are written rules of engagement as well.
Yes.
Sorry, I was just trying to figure out what
There are
you
written.
meant.
There are written and unwritten rules of engagement, and there are honorable ways of to fight. But when it comes down to it, if it's about saving your life, the life of your loved ones, the life of those you are pledged to protect, the rules go out the window. That has already, to some extent, been in effect throughout these games.
You will not gain extra protection based on your sworn oath.
No. But the quickest way to bring a kingdom to its knees is to hold your sword to the king's throat. In this case, the games master. Do we destabilize him?
You want to make him play in the game or something?
No.
Oh.
Just,
That would have been
we win. You know, sword to his throat. Would he not find that sporting and ingenious?
It depends
At
on the
least
rules.
once.
But we don't know the rules yet.
He declares the winner in all 3 games. Declares the winner.
Interesting.
If the goal is to have us both declared winner, and thus far we haven't seen a way in the rules to make that happen.
Threatening a commanding officer is a court-martial offense.
But the rules of the game, would fighting you not also be a punishable offense outside of the game? I seem to recall a certain fangmate of mine receiving punishment for such an action.
And what if I were to threaten him?
As equals.
He does not outrank me.
Sounds like mutiny to me.
We come here with the intent of finding a way to fight back against this game, and perhaps all the games.
All we know, Quartermaster, is we believe that you are the reason why we are all still students at the House of Bells. And we're trying to prove our loyalty to you in this instance. We feel the school is a better and stronger place with you here. The loss is not you beating us or us beating you. The loss is us fighting it all. The second the game begins, Viren has won.
You're right. Then tomorrow at noon, we'll arrive here as we are directed. But I will not play. In exchange, don't disappoint me.
You
Don't
expect us
disappoint you.
to play?
I expect you to arrive,
We will.
and no matter what happens to me, see what you can do.
See what we can do. In what way?
If Viren is intent on disrupting this academy, stop him. You're protected because I do not believe that there ever was a traitor here. I was allowed to save 3.
Quartermaster, who allowed you to save 3?
That's what I negotiated.
With who?
The Commandant.
The Commandant told us today that you were the only reason why anybody was spared.
Because I negotiated for it. Don't let me down.
While this interaction is happening, if I can try to catch Siontel's eye, I want to try to motion to the holes in the ground, like catch her attention and be like, you know, what are these?
What are those?
What are those?
Siontel looks panicked. I mean, she's holding it together,
Sure.
but she's not okay. Flavienne is standing, you know, like strong with her, with the rest of her fang. Siontel looks worried.
We're not going to disappoint you, Quartermaster. But I think it's only right if you tell us how are these going to help you see what will happen?
I take it that none of you have studied sorcery before. Dismissed. Return to your barracks, get a good night's rest. You're going to need it.
Yes, Quartermaster.
Yeah, can I take Siontel by the hand to try to, like, get her out of there?
Gail's gonna pretend to leave and not actually leave. I don't know what to tell you.
Yes, it's okay.
Well,
it's
she
okay.
said the S word. I gotta.
Yes, word. So do we...
Sandwiches.
The Fang will be dismissed. An individual may meander back into the forest.
So you take Siontel by the hand, and she'll come with you. Or is like Gail doing the whole like I'm coming with you, and then like slowing
kind of
down,
like lags behind, and then before you know it, you look back and she's just gone. Is my ideal scenario here.
Yeah, we're all big thumbs up on this, but I'm definitely gonna look at Aresta and go, "Is this a good idea?" Like, okay.
Once we're further away, I would say we're putting our trust in Juin. If she catches Gale, which she always does, then what's she gonna do? Punish Gale before the night before a fight? Then we can just say all the stuff Brevin's been saying about us, even though he asked for it. Like, this is getting too complicated for me.
My brain will still work. So,
What if your skull is broken?
I don't know. I'll just tell you there.
May I be of assistance? Like sarcasm just dripping.
Oh, she just fully noticed. I was trying to duck into like a bush or something.
Oh, you're just like ducking back to watch. I thought you were ducking back to be like.
No, I was trying to creep.
What you doing? Okay.
Okay.
I'm doing an even worse idea.
Cool. So can I have you roll your wit stealth, please?
You sure can.
Spend a point of willpower.
And-
Don't do whatever you need to do.
And I
So
will
I'd like
roll-
to tuck and roll into a berry bush.
Tuck and roll.
Okay.
That's a stun.
It's 2 dice.
And I'm
Juin's
spending a
just like-
willpower.
Cool.
You could do it. Gail. Oops.
But still. Your hollow log, Gale. Thanks. Yeah, quick.
That's 6 successes.
6 successes is pretty impressive.
Oh
You
no.
have to reload the page.
So you feel that you are quite well established in this bush.
It's
But
you feel you're quite well established.
I
in the
haven't
bush.
said any but.
Yeah.
She continues to dig at about 3-meter intervals, these small holes. It's just with a very small spade that she's carrying, ducking, lifting. And she looks like she's making a tour of the entire glade.
so she makes a circle of the entire glade, hey? Yeah.
By the time that she makes it back, she then reaches into a pocket, not a pocket, like a pouch that's hanging by her belt, and she pulls out something that's quite difficult for you to see in the dark. But it must be tiny, and there must be a bunch of them, but she starts dropping something very, very small into each one of the holes.
Is this all just a trick? And she's just like, need
She's
some
just
apple trees
planting
out here.
trees,
Yeah.
Yeah.
I want my cider.
Cider. Good. Oh god.
This forest would look nicer with sunflowers.
Yeah. Oh. A ring of sunflowers. Creepy.
Are you continuing to watch?
Yeah.
So this is taking like a long time,
Yeah.
a couple of hours.
Yeah. At the same time, I'm probably gonna, if Siontel's up for it, I'm gonna ask her about this as well. Like, just what? Yeah. Hey, look, I don't know anything about what's going on back there, but
They're gonna try to drive us apart.
Yeah.
Whether Juin manages to convince people that it shouldn't happen or not, they're gonna try to drive us apart. They're gonna find some way to divide us.
That's been the plan all along.
Part of me hoped that we would fight.
We're going to.
Part of me hoped that we would be able to do it legit.
Just fight her and win?
I don't want to fight her.
it's just more direct, at least.
But at
Simpler.
least if we win, then we win. We don't look suspicious.
I guess that's the question. How overt do we want to be about this? Do we want to just stand there and say, no, we don't like your games? Or do we play along and subvert quietly? Trust in Juin to play her part?
The instant that it looks like we're not trying to win, we're crossing the common dawn.
In the two games that we have participated in, we started by doing the unexpected. So we will start this game, whatever the rules, by doing the unexpected.
You're right, Commander.
Your fears are not without basis.
I wish I could serve you better.
You serve us all very well. And thank you for not hiding your concerns. But we will find a way to win.
Understood.
Siontel, we have orders now, right? We can't let down the quartermaster or your commander.
Or each other. We have an oath
Or
to
each other.
uphold.
I don't intend to disappoint anyone.
Something's got you rattled.
The rest of you aren't rattled? Flavienne just sort of like, you were never like this when we were under Brevin. What's going on? Stakes are higher now. I mean, look at us. I'm sneaking out every night. We're fixing doors and swearing oaths of kinship, and
We're growing up.
what happened to my school?
This isn't what I thought 5th year was going to be like. That'd be more of the same, but slightly harder tests.
Juin is muttering still. Something under her breath, and it's not like complaining, muttering like, motherfucking kids, piece of shit.
Stupid kids.
So she's not a knocker. Got it.
No.
Okay, got it.
Froggy.
After a moment,
said the
though, she
words.
stops. She uncoils her dire lash. And she wraps it around her other hand and then pulls just tightly enough that you can see that her fingers start getting a little paler. And then she turns and walks away, heading back towards wherever she goes when she isn't catching you.
Okay, I would like to creep closer to the circle, but I don't want to break the ring.
Okay.
I feel like with Gail's occult knowledge, she would know not to do that. But I would like to make an occult roll on this.
Sure.
Not expecting to really figure out much, but Gail's gonna try.
Sure. So this is going to be a intelligence occult.
Great.
Difficulty is going to be higher because you're in the dark.
Ooh.
That's going to be difficulty of 4.
Oh, wait.
But you can take your stunt.
Thank you. That's 6.
I was really hoping for another botch, and I could just be
Yeah.
like,
Oh, you fall face first into a destruction spell, and
you're standing by the barracks, and then like Gale Whispered's like hand falls onto the roof.
Kabloom.
Yeah.
Whoops.
When I roll up a new character, or
This isn't a spell that's very common. Not one. Yeah, you sense a change in your heart. This is definitely not a spell that you would consider very common. This, however, seems to be a rather rudimentary spell, which possibly means that this was developed independently. It's not one of the ones that, you would normally have. But anybody who crosses who crosses the ring is going to be marked.
So marked, not like injured necessarily, but like tracked. Like you get like a tracking beacon.
Essentially,
hard,
yes.
hard to know. Yeah. Oh.
Okay.
Could be marked by
What
having
you
your leg
can't
cut off.
tell you cannot tell if there is something additional that would happen, but you do
Okay.
know that crossing the line means that you will be marked, and that Juin will know.
Okay. Cool. Time to go back to the barracks.
Okay.
Thank you.
Yeah, very interesting.
Gail, you and your need to know everything, I swear to God. You guys all killed.
By the time you get back, it's quite late, and Siantel is waiting for you outside the door of the barracks. Where were you? Don't forget it. I knew exactly where you were. Why?
I needed to know what she was doing. I recognize that it doesn't really look great because you went off by yourself and I came to look for you after 10 minutes.
You couldn't have told us what you were doing.
I didn't have time. I
Were you
thought,
caught? Are you hurt?
No, I was just watching.
You gotta be careful. You've got to be more careful.
I have to know. That was a chance for me to know.
You need to know everything.
When I ask questions, bad things happen. So I have to get answers myself.
You never
And I do
ever
them on
need to
my
be
own.
worried about asking a question when it comes to one of us.
What? Sorry, one more time.
You never ever have to be worried about asking a question when it comes to one of us.
I know, and it's everybody else. That's why I swore the oath. I know I can ask questions with all of you. And that means something.
Okay.
I'm sorry.
Why? You didn't do anything wrong. You just scared the shit out of me.
I can tell you're upset.
Everybody can tell I'm upset. And everybody's doing their best. And that's more than I can say for the rest of my life.
Anybody who didn't do their best for you is the stupidest person on the planet.
So, How's that guile going for you right now?
How's the Gale Guile?
How's
Gale
the Gale
Guile?
Guile?
The Gale Guile is 3.
Do you have any intimacies towards Siantel?
Yeah, you already know one of them, right?
I do, but
Yeah,
somehow she's just not taking that lying down.
that's fair. Minor Thai Siantel crush.
So she stops short. And there's a moment where she forgets how to breathe and then... Okay, well, then I guess you're just going to have to be ready for anything. And then she turns as if it's like, okay, well, I guess we're going back to the barracks now.
Night.
Are you also, like, are you not going back to the barracks?
I'm going back to the barracks.
So are you walking with her?
No, I'm gonna like let her go on ahead for a little bit, and then I'll like, kind of go on afterwards.
When you get back, do any of you want to talk? Siantel just comes right in. She is like, well, it's bedtime. Immediately just gets into her night clothes and just dives into bed, and that's it.
Yeah, Pyre's is gonna, I think, rest up as well.
Her spell, by the way, so she was doing a spell. Anyone who crosses the circle is marked. I don't know if there are any other effects
How do you know that?
because I stayed
You
and
didn't-
watched her.
You didn't cross the circle, did you?
I would not be stupid enough to cross the ring.
Oh no, of course you wouldn't be stupid enough to cross the ring.
But we will when we enter tomorrow.
Yes.
Exactly.
Thank
Means
you.
She'll know where we are, or she'll know that we've entered the circle. But it also means that if anyone between now and noon tries to tamper with the glade in any way, or tries to hide out in there, she will know.
Flavienne starts to laugh slightly, and then she picks up a shoe and just throws it at the lump on Siantel's cot. You're not asleep. Don't. What are you doing? And then you hear just this muffled oof.
We're going to have to be clever tomorrow. We're going to have to play the game in such a way that it seems like we're playing the game and that we're playing it in our way.
I'm going to have to be more convincing than that. And then the other shoe just sails through. Oof.
Yeah, I'm gonna leap to my feet and I'm going to stride over to Siantel and I'm gonna kind of like lean down and look at her in the eyes. I'm gonna muster.
So you
all
can't
of the...
because she's like.
Oh no, sorry, not Siantel, Flavienne. Sorry,
Oh.
Flavienne
Okay.
who's throwing the shoes. I'm gonna go over and I'm gonna like lean down to her and I'm gonna muster all of the emotion that I can. I want to win tomorrow. I need to win for the Fang of the Lost Hand. Better? More convincing?
You look at me like you look at Brevin.
I dive for one of my shoes. And I,
Shoe fight!
You guys wear shoes?
Oh. Take one level
Foot
of bashing
wraps?
damage. Oh my god. No.
Yeah,
But I
it was
will.
like trying to throw like a piece of paper.
Your foot wraps are probably made of like
Yeah. I
heavy
could-
leather
I could,
or
like,
cloth, at least.
bundle them and hope that they don't just
Right.
unbundle.
I'm whipping something playfully at Flavienne, I guess. But, like a yeah, okay.
That's nice.
Yeah. Me. But then it's time for bed, probably.
You going to sleep?
Yeah.
Okay, so the next question I'm going to ask is Who wants to roll their perception awareness at a difficulty of 4?
Still me. Still want to do it.
Honestly, man.
What?
No, not you. I just if this is what I think it is, then I don't understand what's going on. That's all I gotta say about that.
Who's crying tonight?
How do I stunt sleeping?
Sleep with one eye open.
Yeah,
Pull
do
a
you crack
Gandalf.
one eye open?
Gail's like drooling a little bit onto her pillow, and her hair is getting very mussed, and her bangs are sticking out like this.
That's so cute.
Oh, that's me every morning.
Yeah, you can stunt that. Go ahead.
Hey, thanks, bud. Aw, shucks.
Oh, shucks.
2 successes? So
2
that was 2 successes?
Yeah, it was only 2.
No. All right. Following morning,
Son of a.
you wake up.
That's a good start.
And there are only 3 of you in the barracks.
No.
Sorry, Mike.
Sorry.
Fuck, who's missing?
Well, bang. Us
Right.
3 are probably still there, right?
Oh, there's only 3 of us. Oh, I see. Oh,
Yeah.
I see.
Yeah.
2 pyres.
What's happening to you?
I don't know.
Are we in the Four Seasons Hotel? This is my only question. I'm kidding. Sorry. Different game. Different thing.
It is the 3 of you. There's no sign of Siantel or Flavienne.
Their possessions.
They're still there.
Their beds were slept in. I'm going over to look at their stuff.
I want to investigate. I want to case the scene.
Yes.
Sure. Yeah, case that scene. Go for it. Who doesn't count 1, 2 pyres? That's how I count. 1, 2
1,
pyres,
2
4, 5, 6,
pyres.
7, Aresta, 10.
What?
Perception.
I forgot about the number 9. I don't care.
No, arrest cancer too. Is that cool? Or these 2 guns.
Arrest 2.
8, 9.
So the first thing I want to do is go over to their beds and see, because I feel like Flavienne will always make her bed very meticulously.
Her bed is not made.
That was my stunting attempt.
Oh
too.
yeah, no, you stunted well. I'm telling you right off the bat, her bed's not made.
Shit.
No investigation required. It's not me.
That's 4 successes.
Okay. So, someone entered into your room at night. This person came and woke up 2 of your fangmates, and they left willingly. There's no sign of a struggle, and clearly it had to be quiet, otherwise it would have woken the 3 of you up. This happened about 30 minutes before the rest of you woke up.
I relay this to everyone.
Okay, well, June was involved in the very silent removal of our fangmates the beginning of this school year. Or they've played an extremely long con and it was Brevin. But I think it's going to be the former.
Oops, sorry.
Ooh, kinship detection.
Yeah.
Beep boop beep boop boop.
Yes, you can absolutely do that.
Do you do this?
Yeah.
Even though that's not a thing?
No, I know. I was like, do that for light. Oh, wait.
Oh, right. Oh.
I know, when I was watching Juin, I'm like, oh, I can see the ring better if I just.
That's
Alas.
funny.
Curses.
They're in the same location. They are currently about where you would expect the administration offices are. Somewhere in there. So like where Viren's cottage is, where Nuven's offices are, Most of the faculty have their... The only one who doesn't, actually, is Joanne, who sleeps closer to the barracks. Garavel has a place where he can stay close to the infirmary, but he also has a proper place.
An office, yeah. Well, I guess they can't disband us, right? Because then we wouldn't be able to fight, because we wouldn't be the Fang anymore.
Well, we were when we... Well, if, yeah, they disband the Fang, but if they just change who's in the Fang, we fought the first time as 3. Okay.
They haven't returned.
We have to go find them.
Yeah.
We
If
haven't
they haven't
till
returned,
noon.
something's wrong.
We have been given no indication that we are to do the game without them.
We have until noon.
You notice that there's seemingly some others who are crawling out of the windows of the barracks.
Crawling out of the windows? Yeah, what's going on? I'm stepping outside.
Several students are starting to leave the barracks, looking around confused.
Oh no. Are they 5th years as well then, or are they like just sort of an assortment of students?
An assortment.
I want to find someone who looks
Young and
older.
impressionable.
Yeah, sorry. You
Young and
go ahead,
impressionable.
Scott, and I've got an action as well.
Okay. Well, I want to
You're looking
find
for somebody
an
older?
I'm looking for one of the older students so I can like, try to suck up to them a little.
I'd like to head count one of the Fangs that I'm familiar with.
How about
Bingo.
quick rats?
Yeah.
Icon.
Oh.
So I'd like to do a head count and see if all 5 are there.
No. Leanne is missing. It seems that, as you're looking around, several Fangs are missing 1 or 2 of their number. Now, normally, there wasn't a panic right away. I mean, somebody getting up early is not
Yeah.
necessarily a cause for alarm. But now it seems that there are several.
Where was the announcement made at the beginning of 5th year? Beginning of the school year, with all the people being lined up and expelled and stuff?
On the ceremonial grounds,
Mm.
like parade grounds.
Mm-hmm.
Just 2 seconds.
I'd like to start, raise my voice over like the hubbub in the hallway. We're all short a Fang member or 2?
Cadets,
No, great.
Fuck.
present yourselves at the parade grounds immediately.
Is that Vagrant?
Yes.
This is Bjorn, yeah.
Okay, then I'll just do so.
A couple of the younger
Mm,
start coming up to you. What do you think's going on?
we're about to find out. One of the many lessons at the House of Bells is to expect the unexpected. War doesn't always go by the rules. It doesn't always go how you plan it. Show your strength.
Okay,
Stay strong.
we will.
It'll be okay. If not, you can come to me.
Of course. Thank you, Kathak Gurasta.
Little 2nd year. Little 1st year. Pat,
Thanks.
pat, pat, pat.
Second best Kathak.
Don't you?
Talk smack about a Kathak. Crack, crack.
Crack, crack.
No, I do not.
Talk shit. Get it.
Yeah,
Get it.
exactly.
Bashful dog.
What?
That's great.
Thank
What?
you.
What?
Out loud.
Bashaladal hit the wall.
It's a bit not keeping in the moment, but we'll get.
Yeah.
It's time for a rampage.
Yeah, I guess we head out to the parade grounds.
Yeah, fuck.
I'm taking my artifact.
Oh yeah. I actually will. Seeing you do that, I will stop and extract Paris's weapons. I won't give them to him yet, but I'm gonna carry them with me.
Understood.
They're like bundled under my arm.
Just hold it in front of his face like this.
No.
Oh.
Unless he misbehaves. Or if he's paying too much attention to Brevin. AKA the same thing.
I see how it is. I am very actually, John. I am on the hunt to see if Brevin is here, but I'm not gonna look at him.
Oh my god, I'm
is-
obsessed.
He is not present.
Okay, well now I'm panicking. Fires is getting the sweats.
Our little crushes are missing. This is
This is
terrible.
really bad news.
Presented arms.
We do. I don't have weapons, but that's.
Well, I assume you still have the training
Oh
swords
yes,
that
I
we
do.
had?
You're right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll do that instead.
They've got like trainees.
Duds.
They're kind of like rubbery when you do this. They do this.
Oh.
One of them's got a green handle because it's for left hands. One of them's
Oh, it's so charming.
Uh,
I'm a dynast.
One by one, your Fang will approach the administrative offices for questioning. Classes are canceled today. All games have been canceled.
Sorry.
Or postponed. Sorry, he says postponed. It's a long wait. Are you doing anything while you were waiting? Or are you going to stand?
I want to stand and look as at ease as I can. And I just want to watch the student body and try to find, match eyes with anyone that looks like is looking around and upset and try to
Exude
calm. Yeah.
So that you are trying to
A mass and still of calm.
You're
Inspire,
trying to
yeah.
inspire.
Inspire, that's the word.
Yeah, that's fair.
And Pyres, are you trying to inspire abs?
Rage, yeah. Well, I do want to sort of, I want to support Aresta. I also want to sort of find out a bit more information. Can I support Aresta's inspire action by
remaining calm?
Well, by being calm, but also turning towards her and sort of being grateful.
Okay.
So what?
2 dice for your stunt. This is going to be a charisma presence. Or no, this is an appearance presence.
Okay.
Gale whispered.
I'm just observing for now.
6 successes.
Student body noticeably cools down.
That's nice.
Well done.
Viren, yeah, that's good. I like that. Viren told us to report for questioning to admin. So I'm curious if that's where he went immediately after giving that order.
No.
Ooh, where did he go?
He is overseeing the students standing at parade.
That's what I freaking thought, man. Can we? I mean, I imagine it'll be pretty obvious, but as groups go in or go that direction, do they come back via where we are?
Once they go to the administrative offices, they do not return.
That's what I was afraid of.
Yeah, they're all being thrown into the dungeons.
Yeah, the bottomless pit, exactly.
Dungeons. On my dungeons, we mean cliff.
Yeah. Potato, potato.
The dungeon, if you go
But
far
when it
enough.
becomes your turn, Viren starts walking in step beside you.
Games master.
I know that you are anticipatory of your game, but it will not occur today. We have other matters to attend to.
I was beginning to wonder if this was not a game, considering you're heading up the efforts this morning.
We all do our part. He seems very relaxed around you, as if oh, I'm one of those professors that, I talk to the...
I'm the
He's a
cool professor?
I'm the cool
Okay.
professor.
Ugh.
Yeah.
Do you trust the rest of the students to behave without you watching over them?
Somehow I think that they're in line. Listen, I just wanted to say, I've been very impressed by your performance so far.
May I ask what inspired you to set such a unique game for us?
Now that's interesting. Sorry.
That was well done. Can I ask you to roll your charisma socialize? You can get 2 dice for that.
Yeah, it's particularly well phrased. I feel like it's very diplomatic. It's nice.
And I have a specialty, so I'm just gonna check on that and add a dice.
Oh, you have a specialty in not pissing people off. That must come in handy.
I believe it's just like add a die for some moves.
Should consider investing in that.
So I'm just gonna probably spend
Nah,
too
I don't
much
want
for
to
that.
socialize specialties. I love specialties.
And I'd like to look up at him with admiration.
Nice.
Stunned.
Oh no, he wears a tie, but it's always loose and like a little bit askew.
6! All zeros. All 10s, yeah. 6?
Like actually all 10s though?
Damn.
I mean, I have 3 zeros, which add up to 6.
It's time that the game started losing a little bit of their stakes. After all, we can't disband you, and we can't disband Professor Juen. But I thought it important to see how you would go up against a superior and yet lesser force.
Why we can be disbanded as much as any other Fang. If we were given special treatment, if we were given special treatment, wouldn't that?
You've already proven your worth in 2 other games. There's no need to see you separated now.
Then what would have been the outcome if she had outwitted us?
But the game is still going to occur.
Of course.
I'm to direct you towards the Commandant's office. After that, you're on your own. But good luck in there. I'm sure you'll do just fine.
I look forward to asking you all my other questions after the game.
And he turns around and he walks away. But not before giving Pyres a big ol' smack on his back. Like
Thank
an
you, Games Master.
attaboy. Way to represent the house well, boyo.
I like put my hand on the doorknob, but like wait for Pyres and Gale to like slightly catch up because I stopped for a second, sort of thing.
Did you give him back his weapons yet?
No, I'm still carrying them.
When you are presented inside, you see that leaving is a couple of students who are in the 5th year who haven't really come up yet, and I'm not giving you their names.
Yeah, that's fine.
But they seem relieved.
Okay.
Coming down.
Close the door, Commander. Oof, no, that's no. There, better. Every other student on this campus is currently under the impression that their fangs have been temporarily split as a result of a friendly war game occurring at the end of this week that have nothing to do with Viren. A gateway tournament.
And our Fang?
We suspect that there is an anathema among the ranks of cadets. We suspect that you know who it is.
The cadets.
An anathema? Yeah, Pyres is going to have a really hard time keeping his voice down. I'm not going to shout the word anathema, but like, here?
Anathema!
Oh my god! No, like, here at the House of Bells? Where? Let me at her! If this is... Commandant, this is then meant to be questioning. This is meant to get us to crack and to tell you all we know. We do not know any anathema here at the House of Bells or at all.
This is not a trick. You are not going to be punished if you cannot identify.
Hadn't been considering my fellow students as potential players in the mysteries beyond those that had mysteriously been expelled at the beginning of this school year, and I took the word of their misdeed at some amount of face value.
So, from what I understand, you do not know who among the cadets could be considered anathema.
I have seen none of the signs that we have been taught about.
We also know, Aresta, Commander, that they can employ very deceptive
Absolutely.
methods. And if we've been tricked, Commandant, I don't know what to tell you.
I understand. I can only hope that we're wrong.
And are you certain that that it would be a cadet? Commandant. I do not presume to be let into your sources or your intelligence, but is there any possibility that someone has infiltrated at a higher rank? That is the only direction I have been casting my focus on these mysteries, I will admit.
I do not know. The assumption is that it's a cadet.
Yes, Commandant. We will keep our eyes and ears open.
You do not suspect Flavienne or Siantel?
No.
As
you have sworn, and so I would not expect you to betray them. But I would expect that you would not necessarily be able to sense their auras. So where are they? If you can successfully tell me where your hearthmates are, I will remove them from suspicion.
I would like to spend the moot to do so.
Yeah, I'm gonna do the same. I'll report, like, immediately, though, that we
did so this morning.
Yeah, we did so this morning when we were concerned for their safety. And
They're
gonna check.
Below you. They're in the basement.
I share this information.
And then a look of relief passes over her features. They are safe and unharmed. You can go to them now if you wish. Please speak of this to no one.
Commandant, can you tell us why you suspect anathema now? Did something happen last night, or yesterday, or this morning?
To give you too much information would make you less reliable as witnesses.
If there is even the smallest detail that you can give us to keep our eye out for.
Take what you've learned from your classes.
Yes, Commandant.
I will not order you not to discuss this with the other members of your Fang. I am ordering you to keep this within your Fang. Not even to other professors. Myself. And the 5 of you. That's an order. Am I understood?
Understood.
Understood,
Yes,
Commandant.
understood.
Commandant, why were we not questioned together?
I don't understand your question, Cadet. You were questioned together.
We are a Fang of 5, I believe,
We are
as
a Fang of
Pyre's
5.
intent.
Because they fell under suspicion. Now they are not.
I understand.
Dismissed.
Heading towards the door.
Yeah,
Yep.
we're
She still looks quite troubled.
I would be too.
I want to take a
And
look.
meanwhile, you start hearing out in the hallways things like, I'm gonna get my ass kicked in Gateway. I can't beat the other members of my Fang.
I'd like to take one last look over my shoulder before we leave. I'd like to try to get a sense of what her intentions were for
The
that.
scene?
Yeah, for the scene.
Please, by all means. Guile is still 4.
Okay.
And you can get your 2 dice for looking over your shoulder.
Socialize.
Nice.
2. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 successes.
Her intentions for the scene were to determine whether the 3 of you would crack under interrogation because you knew that there was an irregularity.
Interesting.
So she never look, if you knew that there was an anathema and you hadn't reported it, her intention was then to be like, you're dead. Because clearly you are assisting.
Yeah, aiding and abetting the enemy.
However, she asked you and she seemed to believe that the 3 of you were like, the fuck? Which, as far as I can tell from the 3 of you, you have no reason to suspect that there is an anathema among the student body.
Yeah.
I mean, now I do.
Well, maybe. But the thing is, because you did not immediately raise suspicion, she believes herself to be a good judge of character, then she's like, okay, I don't have to kill these 3 cadets and then also kill the 2 in the basement.
Yeah.
I'm heading for the basement.
Yeah, I'm just taking a note to read if she has any intimacies towards anathema next time.
Yeah.
Desire.
Right?
Whoa.
I am one.
Yeah. Whoa.
So yeah, as we head downstairs, do you think we were special, or do you think every Fang got the same secret?
Gale whispered, intelligence war, please.
I will say, I don't think it's random, those people who have been selected as suspicious. And we just need to figure out what makes them different. Oh god, unless it's just arbitrary for chaos purposes.
There is next to 0 chance that the Commandant would pull every single Fang and tell them all the same lie that you're the only ones who were telling this to, because all it would take would be for one person to disobey her and the entire lie fails across the entire school.
Yeah.
It is almost certain that you are either the only Fang of which she asked this of, or possibly like one of like 2 or 3 that she assumes you would never talk to.
I relay this as we're going along to the basement.
You're right.
I mean, we have done an excellent job of showing that we know more than the average cadet here about what's going on.
When you get down to the basement, you see that Flivian and Siontel are scrubbing the floors with toothbrushes.
Oh no.
They're the only ones.
Yep.
This
This is, by the way, an area which is used often for... actually, no, this is where you were initially tested in combat. Pyres, we ran this in your session 0.
First year, or first day, probably, honestly.
Yep.
Classic Pyres.
we were told that we could rejoin you, or you could rejoin us.
Yeah, they're done.
Yeah.
They're done their work.
Oh, okay.
Oh, okay.
like halfway done or something. That would have been bad.
Yeah, well, I don't know. I was just gonna be like, stop scrubbing floors.
They told us that we didn't have to play in the game, but that we had to come down here and do this instead. I thought that it was just a fuck you to Viera.
I mean, I think today's interruption is...
We should go back to the barracks. Or to someone else.
Yeah.
Somewhere else.
Yeah, we have something we need to tell you guys.
Okay. As you walk back, Flavienne is just like seemingly she's just relieved that she doesn't have to play in the game. Siantel is still nervous.
When you say they came to get you, did you in?
Scaravel.
I see.
That's why I went. I figured if somebody was going to try to mess me up, it probably wasn't going to be the doctor.
I feel like you would hurt someone if they were trying to hurt someone that was already injured.
Yeah, but I'm not trying to hurt anybody.
Yeah. Fires and the rest are both like, this is getting too complicated for my 2 intelligence.
For my intelligence, yeah.
There's
To point out, because Requiem put it in the chat,
Yeah.
and I want to close
Yeah.
it down. You definitely could sense where each of them were.
Well, that's good.
Yeah. So there's apparently some sort of mass tournament at the end of the week of Gateway.
I didn't understand that. Why is there a gateway tournament?
My guess is that it was created to cover for today's happenings.
I think they had to tell everybody something as to why we weren't able to play a game today.
Oh, I see. That's the story everyone else got.
I think so.
So you relay all the information to...
Our hearthmates.
Siantel immediately calms down.
Read intentions?
Yeah.
What?
Okay. What are you doing to read intentions and...
I guess to see what her intention of the scene is.
How are you doing this?
Oh,
Calmly? I'm just kidding. Sorry.
Gail's like walking beside her and tries to like fall into step with her, but doesn't look at her.
Okay.
Just tries to like sense, like
Aura.
hear if her breathing has calmed a little bit. Okay.
Kyle is 3.
Wait a minute. Yes. No, wait, shit. I rolled the wrong pool. I rolled awareness, not socialize. 1 second. Peace out.
Beep, beep. Please hold.
1 fewer die. Oh no.
Defining intimacy.
Only
See,
2
anathema at
successes.
best. 2 successes.
Yep.
Fires, what are you doing to read intentions?
I mean, once we've told, we've told both of them. I mean, I'm gonna need to know from both of these guys what's going on, but like Siantel in particular, I'm just gonna walk straight up. I'm gonna walk straight up to her and kind of come into her space a little bit. We all have secrets, and I'm not asking you to divulge all of yours. But these last 24 hours, you've been really scared. And I think, as sworn kin, we need to know what you're scared of so we can help you save yourself from it. Why does this relax you?
Okay, that's very direct.
It is.
I'm gonna have you then roll your read intentions. If that's what you're still trying to do.
That is what I'm trying to do.
What are you trying to read?
They're gonna, I guess, intimacies. Because it wouldn't be anathema. It would be like intimacies towards whatever she's frightened of. Intimacies of fear. Can I do that?
Yes, that you can do.
Oh, cool.
There you go.
The thing is, I don't have to tell you what she's afraid of. but I can tell you if she has an intimacy of fear and what level of intimacy it would be.
She's majorly
Because
afraid.
obviously, if she's afraid of like spiders, there'd be no
wouldn't-
way for you to know just by
Right.
like. So are you anathema? Oh, you don't like snakes, huh? Like, what?
Can you imagine? I would love the ability to just look at someone and like know something about them, even if it was like, I like my grilled cheese sandwiches with bacon. I mean, I'm not a monster, so. But anyway, well, I'm also not. I don't eat
What
cheese
are you
or bacon.
talking
But
about?
whatever. I'm rolling my dice.
all that
give me
anathema talk.
successes.
Hey, we both fucked
Son
up.
of a bitch,
Nope.
that was a good one. Damn it.
Guess you'll never know.
Look, I was divided from the rest of my fang, and I was taken into a room. And as soon as at first I thought it was fine because it was Garavel, and then it ended up taking me down into Nuven's basement, and I thought for sure that they were planning on executing us.
We wouldn't have let that happen.
Well, you were asleep.
We wouldn't have let that happen.
We would have at least avenged you, you know?
Flavienne laughs at this.
Thank you, Flavienne. Jeez Louise. Tough crowd. There you go.
We don't even have to play the game today.
Today.
We're not going to play the game. It's going to be another kind of game, but a game that we choose to play. It looks like the school is starting to fight back against Viren. We have to take that into account.
Yeah. He was so cheery about doing his part.
Of course, it would lose face in front of the other students if he looked mad.
No, he even accompanied us as we walked towards.
It's because he has a total crush on Pyres. And you. It must be nice to be Cathak.
I mean, I can't help it. It's like completely sincere. So, elephant in the room.
Do we suspect a fellow student?
Is there an anathema at the House of Bells?
So let's all say who we think it is on the count of 3. 1, 2, 3.
Quick rat.
I just.
Oh.
Sorry, because
Yeah.
no one will be able to hear. I assume that people are saying it in order.
Yeah.
So Gail,
Well, quick rat, but that's as a joke.
quick rat. Okay.
I'm gonna say-
Is that what Gail says as a joke?
No, she doesn't say anything.
Okay.
I mean, yeah, my impulse was to point at Siontel as a joke, but I'm gonna say single edge. Kept at single edge.
Shrug.
Oh, so I'm the only one.
Flavienne points at herself, like laughing,
Okay.
and Siontel just shakes her head.
Okay. So then I'm the only one who like named it's not in his fang.
You sure are.
So good.
Classifying.
Well, you learned something new about you today, Pyres.
I thought.
You know there are rumors going around about the two of you.
What? What rumors?
Well,
That you
you
two
were
were
found after
meeting
hours
in the
in the
forge.
Things were getting heated.
Hey,
Is-
that's good.
I didn't come up with that myself.
Oh, okay.
There was a lot of hammering.
I'm shocked that none of you did anything to quell those rumors when you all knew exactly what I was doing there.
No, it's useful.
Oh, it's useful. Oh, okay.
Yes, we can turn this to our advantage.
Wait,
I
You don't
didn't
think-
know what you were doing there.
you don't think Brevin thinks that I was with single? Does anyone think that?
Do you think that's why he hates you?
It's okay. Don't look at him. Make him jealous. He'll have to come to you.
Exactly.
Maybe he hates you because.
You're too beautiful. Sorry. Go for it.
Well, I was going to say maybe he's the anathema. She clearly does not believe
I
it.
was like, really? After 4 years with him?
I'd like to know what Pyres' face looks like, though, when that joke is made.
As he processes the possibility of this.
More like sworn kill ship, am I right?
We laugh and we joke. But I feel like the obvious thing would just be to have, work into the curriculum for everyone to work on their elemental related skills. And if someone can't make the earth tremble or the wind blow, they get into the suspicion list.
There are ways for anybody to manipulate essence in such ways.
They put them.
Sorry, she wouldn't say that. She wouldn't call it essence.
Yeah.
There must be other ways. The anathema have been able to hide before.
It's true.
You stop these games being obsessed with us. You make sure that every Fang is put through games that are so intense that they have to use all of their energies so that an anathema would either fail or show themselves. And fail because they weren't using their abilities.
But we do not know if Viren believes there is an anathema.
Yeah, but if... I don't understand this everyone being equals. That's not how hierarchies work. Hierarchies have a hierarchy. Someone has to be able to bend his arm if this is really a thing. If there's really a suspicion.
I do find it interesting that
Put their backs against the wall.
If the games are going to be used as a tool to help maybe with this search, maybe if if the commandant thinks it's something that can be useful, suspicion has to fall away from us, right? We won't have to participate in the games anymore if they're a tool for this sort of thing.
But they probably aren't, but they could be. They would be a useful tool because it would be a context. If we are effectively being put on a wild hunt, we need to hunt.
That's right.
You can't just...
Slinking around in subtlety is how they work. They hide their wrongness.
Brevin starts, you can see Brevin now heading back towards the barracks. Alone.
I mean, I see it. And I laugh at Arista's joke and then turn back to the circle. It was not a joke, I'm well aware.
No, I am just like, yeah.
Okay, buddy.
Just tell him how you feel.
Ignore him.
Well, now I'm having two conflicting opinions.
Cool,
of
I'll
it.
go do something, and I'm gonna go walk over to Brevin.
What? No! Arista, no!
So, how can you play Gateway against yourself?
Fucking...
I've been assigned new members of my Fang.
All 12 of them?
Oh.
There's room for one more.
Lucky 13. I don't care whether or not that's a thing in this world, I'm gonna say it anyway.
Establish it as a fact.
Yes, lore. I mean, I could. Here, lore roll.
mean-
Fuck it.
What are we establishing as fact, just so that I know?
Lucky 13 being a thing.
Oh, fuck yeah, let's go.
What stat goes with lore for this?
We're gonna say that it's charisma because you're trying to be
Clever.
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 Aw.
Yeah, sure, it's a thing
Yeah,
now.
whatever. Great, it's a thing.
Yay!
I could have used terms for it, but I didn't.
Lucky number 13.
Great, lucky 13. Would you have me, though? Out of everyone in my Fang? Would you not want to take back your former Fang mates?
Clearly, you have a skill with not only command, but keeping a relatively new force stable. I could use someone like that. It's there if you want it.
I think there's someone else you would be better to pick if you were picking from our Fang.
I know what you mean. But Flavienne and Siantel left. And he turns and he starts heading back towards his room.
You wouldn't consider a master tactician an asset?
Gale whispered.
She's not your style, is she?
What's your style, bro? Oh, smart.
I don't need somebody who thinks that she's the
Actually,
smartest
Paul.
person in the room.
She is.
Do you think you're the smartest person in the room? I know I'm not.
No. But she knows, and that's enough.
Empires.
And you just hear deep, full-throated laughter that cascades around the barracks. Just long and loud until he closes the door and you can still hear it through the door.
Oh,
I would like to,
ecstatic.
as he goes to close the door, I'd like to stick my foot in the door.
Can I leave well enough alone?
He starts, what?
What indeed? Why do you have it out for my fangmate? And I'd like to be using that question to read if he has any intimacies towards Pyrus.
Okay. His guile is 4. But you can get a 2 dice done for that.
Guile is 4. Wild.
You know, sometimes NPCs will spend motes and stuff to...
I got 4.
I don't doubt it. It's impressive.
Okay. And your question is whether he has any intimacies towards Pyrus?
Pyrus.
Yes.
He does.
He has a major intimacy of jealousy.
No. Jealous of the shirt that gets to be worn by him every day.
Jealous of the blankets
But
that
that's
he
the
wears
only
on
one
his
I'm telling you
naked
about.
body at night. Sorry.
You know, I hated his guts. Oh, we're way over time.
I know.
That's perfect.
Okay. I hated his guts. I still kind of do.
So join me and see what a real Fang can do.
I'd rather face my biases. Find out who he really is.
I can respect that, Aresta.
And I don't trust you as a leader. And I'm gonna leave.
Now that I can't respect. And he closes the door quietly.
Is going on.
I think we'll end the session there.
Oh my god.
Sorry for running over time.
I really hope Pyre's is walking by the door just in time to hear Aresta go. I still kind of hate him. Just have the tears. He was not there.
No, it's every Hallmark movie ever. It'll
Yeah,
take us an
but-
hour and 48 minutes to fix this, and then we'll kiss in the sunlight or
Yeah, exactly.
snowlight.
Or snow or what? Yeah,
whatever,
exactly.
yeah,
Whatever. it is.
snowlight.
In the vintage shop
Yeah.
or whatever. Wow.
So, for today,
It's fucking crazy.
I will ask what you learned. I will ask what you liked from somebody else, but I will also give you a 3rd point of Dragon experience if you answer one other question. But I'm going to ask you independently of each other. I don't mind if you then afterwards discuss, but I want your answers without hearing from each other. So first, what did you learn from each other? I'll start with Liz. What did you learn?
I learned that the commandant is not as invested in like what the games are doing to the school, because she has bigger fish to fry.
Excellent. Kate?
I learned that there's either legitimately suspicion of an anathema on school grounds, and if that's the case, that they trust us to help with this investigation, which is interesting, or it's a lie, and there's way more mysteries to unravel. So.
Okay. Scott?
Yeah, I learned that the desire of many dynasts to like play a political long game is still well and present at the House of Bells, even when there's, danger or whatever afoot. There's still a desire to like not be like super direct and just tell everyone everything flat out. That's what I learned.
Liz?
Something I liked about another player.
Yes, I think that's
Nothing.
Nothing.
I liked how they made me look good by sucking.
Oh no.
Sorry.
Terrible. I loved Fires' like distress around everybody like getting involved in his business, because he probably would have just pined away from a distance and maybe wouldn't have even accepted that he had a crush if his
That's
fang
fair.
hadn't like fully shoved him into it.
That's super funny.
I just thought you played it really, really nicely.
You had time in high school. Never mind. Okay, sorry. This is for later in Fancy Corner. I'm gonna
Scott?
talk about something else later. I really, Kate. I think Aresta is like a real shit disturber. I've probably said that before, and I'll say it again. But it's specifically, I think there's like this stereotype around Earth aspects that's like, I'm gonna endure and I'm going to stay kind of like set in the traditions that I know. But she's like a real progressivist as well. Like she wants to move forward, which I think is just so cool. Like you're taking a lot of action to like just say, fuck it, I'm gonna go talk to this person, I'm gonna do this, which I love. And so specifically today, like just going to Brevin. She's like, I'm just gonna go talk to Brevin. It's like, whoa, okay, it's great.
I love that Gale, despite perhaps wisdom, decided to stick back and be like, what's going on with this sorcery? I need to know. I love that need for knowledge. It's just, yes.
Excellent. I'm going to ask that you mute that microphone, please. Actually, in a second.
Oh.
Yeah. I'm going to ask this question now. Kate is going to answer it first without the two of you knowing what her answer is or what the question is. One of you is going to have to get up and leave the room for me to ask the next one.
Oh,
And then you'll swap back.
I'll go now because then I might have time.
Okay.
Goodbye. You shouldn't be able to hear
we're
me,
good, yeah.
right? You're good. You can't hear me. Great.
Now, of the people who we have here, if there is an anathema, and if that anathema is a named character, who is it?
See, my instinct is still towards Shuin, but if it's a student,
I didn't say that.
yeah, that's my gut.
Okay. And then I'm going to ask you to leave. Actually, no, it's okay for you to say you've given your answer.
Yes, I will not influence Scott.
You've given your answer. Scott.
Yes.
Assuming that there is an anathema and that it is a named character, who is it?
Sinus Bracken, the librarian.
Okay.
Straight.
You can.
Oh, yep.
You can get Liz.
Okay. Wait. Elizabeth.
Mhm.
We're just gonna disappear for a sec here. Bye.
You don't have to leave.
But you can.
You can if
I
you
can.
want, but you don't have to because you know what the question
Oh,
is.
it's true, right? Thank you. Yes, I've already answered the question, Elizabeth.
2 greens. You're
Oh,
2
his
greens.
shirt and pants.
Oh, yes, it's true.
Here's the question.
It's like,
Assuming that there is an anathema and assuming that it is a named character, who is it?
So far, I think it's Bracken.
Okay. All right. So, because I just wanted to make sure that you weren't influencing each other's answers. 2 of you answered Bracken. 1 of you answered Juin. So you all think that it's a member of the faculty.
So my theory is, should I say it out loud? I don't want to say it because what if it's actually like what?
That's up to you. You can do what you want. I know who it is. I've decided.
Okay.
I'm not going to start changing it based on your answers.
So I feel like it's Bracken and Juin as 2 sidereal factions,
oh shit!
Okay.
Damn.
both trying to like manipulate the school for different ends.
It's
Yeah.
the other one that isn't Sepe. The other person that got kicked or like that disappeared, maybe. Who knows? It could be anyone. I don't know.
I said named character.
Name character. I mean, you named them all.
Yeah. We just haven't met the non-Sepe person.
That doesn't count. If they haven't been referred to by name on
Crystal.
stream, they don't count.
Oh, thank you, Eric. Yeah, I found it.
Thanks.
It's not Crystal.
Person with
Crystal is
the wiki
fucking
open.
dead.
Or is it?
Da-na,
Uh,
da-na.
yeah. So
Cha-cha.
this was episode 9. Episode 10. I am going to give you one guarantee. One major mystery will be solved next session. Assuming that you try to. Like if
Okay.
you literally just are like, no, we're going to spend the entire session just like lying in our cots and talking about boys.
Go back to the bell tower. Talk about boys. We're down. I think we're mostly down.
There will be an answer. It is, and it is not a mystery of what Pyres looks like with a shirt on. We already know what that looks like.
People have made art of that for some reason.
Stay tuned at the end of the stream and look at the fan art as it rotates. You can see Pyres with a shirt on.
Seriously, Aragwen, like I don't know what you're thinking of describing clothes.
Actually, pretty funny. I mean, it wouldn't be a bad session. We just had a, truth or truth up in the bell tower.
More truth or
Yeah.
truth.
Uh,
Aragorn was mad that she missed it, so we have to do another one.
Right.
I mean, it'll probably happen. Aragorn might have been mad about that, but I'm sure that Aragorn wouldn't be mad to find out about what kind of streams are happening this week.
Choo-choo. There are lots of streams happening, as there often are during the week. I usually stream Tuesdays at 6 p.m. Eastern, which is now Eastern Daylight Time, as you all know, because you're here. But jump on over to twitch.tv/bifftheboss. Barring any mischief or mayhem, I will be continuing the spooky, scary Seaview Hotel at dead of night with Paul Prospero. Yeah, Count of Fenders is trying to save Polly, and it's like, it's a little rough. It's fun though. And then yeah, Woden's Day and Thor's Day. Oh, I didn't actually pour myself any drink, did I? Woo!
Well, that worked. On Wednesday, my last scrub check, I scrubbed the fuck out. I failed to get half of where I needed to go.
Woof.
That's okay, but my current status is scrubbed. It is up to you to determine what the next challenge is going to be. So, by all means, please let us know on the Discord what you think a good challenge would be, and I will be glad to take it on. But clearly, we need to find good challenges. I got really close to half. It is true. I mean, the thing is, I also ended a couple of minutes early. I probably could have got to half. In fact, I absolutely could have, because I could have just done some of the like easier ones.
Yeah.
Yeah, but like
But
half.
the point is, I didn't get close.
Wild.
Thursday, RPGClinic. We're probably going to take a break from filling out documents. So if you have ideas for what you want to discuss on RPGClinic, please also let us know in the Discord. That would be mighty handy of you. Friday?
Friday, we're continuing Punch Club.
You mean Liz is continuing Punch Club and Scott's going to look at it in abject confusion?
And just like, I don't understand why I'm not progressing as
Don't
a
worry.
character.
I remember being frustrated when I started it for the first time too. You get into a rhythm. Like keeping up your training so that you don't drop below certain levels. It'll be great.
It's true.
Satterdog,
Yes.
more Drew Crew,
Ooh,
Right, of course.
and the rewatch.
rewatch.
Rewatch
11.
this episode.
Yeah.
Invite people who aren't able to make it, because this is like stupid late for a lot of the world.
Although this is also a really strange episode to jump in if
Well,
you've never seen any of the other ones
sure.
before,
Yeah.
because we're like neck deep in conspiracies.
Yeah, but we also said like we talked about like sexy stuff and tinfoil hats. I feel like that's gonna
We
catch
sure
some.
did.
Universal.
And then I've been streaming on Saturday nights as well at 6 p.m. Eastern. We will see if that continues, because I had a very successful, fun time playing Arkham with Crosshair on yesterday, and it was truly magnificent. So we'll see if that happens again next time.
And then next Sunday we'll be right back here for episode 10. If your time zone changes, make sure to do the calculation, but I think most other time zones that didn't change this week are in 2 weeks. But yeah. Time.
So, John, we earned 3 Dragon-Blooded.
Yes,
Dragon
3 Dragon-Blooded experience today.
So we should be
Yay.
at 45 XP and 21 dragon.
Amazing.
That's a lot already. It's good.
Yeah.
I mean, sorry, it's not too much though.
No.
Yep.
Just want to be clear about that.
Hey, thanks for tuning in. Awfully kind of y'all
Yeah, thanks, guys.
to come on and enjoy this with us. And I look forward to being able to do more. But for now, we gotta, just keep doing this.
Yeah. Oh,
See you next time.
thanks everybody.
Bye.
Thank you.
I want to see
Bye.
pictures of you.